That's the I couldn't find the button.
Hi.
Howdy.
Welcome to Not a Burger TV, the spiciest bit of nothing between your buns.
what I call it on at the most tangent based show on the internet.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
I was thinking, do you remember that Slim Jim ad campaign where they're like, "You beefy, spicy bully"?
I just remember snapping to the Slim Jim. Oh yeah.
There was that guy in the Slim Jim suit who was like really edgy, like Generation X jackass guy. He was like. He was in your stomach and he was like fighting cupcakes and stuff.
Is that the guy that had like the Slim Jim hat like hat almost?
Full-on
yes,
Slim Jim
yes,
cosplay,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
That'd be a great cosplay to show up at a convention with just like a commercial that half the people there were too young to even know. Just be like, "What's up?"
But then you gotta think, you know, how many people that like actually know it.
Yeah.
You know.
Who cares? It's for us, not for them.
Right. Exactly. You do the cosplay for yourself.
Yeah. I saw this cosplayer that I don't follow basically any cosplayers. There's like two.
Bullshit.
No,
you're such a weeb.
Like,
you follow a whole bunch of.
I am becoming more shamelessly into the shameful things that I loved as a kid, as an adult. So, anyways, Dr. Molotov, she did this. I think it's a she.
I haven't seen who Dr. Molotov is.
She did a full Gremlins like life human sized, and it's got like animated eyes and like a talking mouth. And
have you seen that?
It's amazing.
Is it? Nemesis, the Resident Evil 2, that big old dude that has like the eye on the shoulder. Mm-hmm. Like there was one guy, I think it's a Japanese cosplayer that he just went.
Well, you
crazy.
Had the Japanese. I mean, yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'll have to pull it up later. But man, it is crazy good. I'm trying to think if the eye actually moves, because when they do stuff like that,
yeah,
like little articulate things,
I think of, it moves. Yeah.
Like you know that little thing.
It has like 3 movements.
But still, it's creepy enough that like it like moves up, left,
or like study it for half an hour and be like, it's only got 3 movements.
No. Yeah. There was one actually. You know, now we're talking about cosplay. There was one I saw. It was 2 Samus. In costume, and they were comparing their busters and how each one moves differently. Like they had one that opens up wider, one that like opens and closes
like
while
it opens for like missile mode. Like
that's it. The one of them has it that like opens slightly, kind of like if it were to like be shooting, but the other one just like opens like exactly like as if it were to change weapons.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's really cool.
Yeah.
I saw a really funny one recently. It's a boy in like a tunic that's covered in mud and just a horse's head, and he puts it on the ground and like starts screaming and crying like in the Neverending Story when the horse is sinking in the mud. It's fucking awesome. But I think it's the same person. I think that I got sucked into this.
Have you ever thought about doing a cosplay? Like I mean, I've had so many ideas of cosplays that I've wanted to do, but then I get to it, I look at it, I'm like.
So
I don't want to do it.
In my Amazon cart right now is most of the pieces for a cosplay for a character from Slay the Spire, if you've seen Slay the Spire at all. It's like a roguelike. It's like FTL, but with cards. It's like if FTL and Hearthstone had a baby. But anyways, it's like a skull with like this crazy green cloak and ninja tabbies and throwing knives. And it's just like so cool. But only, 25% of the people there would get it, but those 25% would be like, yes.
25%, that's still a large percentage.
Yeah, I know, but you're not necessarily going to run into all 25% of the people who get it,
Yeah, it's like I wanted. There was a girl that I went to. Trying to think what year college it was. If it was like my 6th or 7th freshman year of college, but she eventually went on and did costume design, and she's still doing it. She posts stuff online, and she does ridiculous cosplay.
We've got some good cosplayers in Florida, surprisingly.
Yeah, well, and then she moved to Georgia to go to do. I guess they have like some sort of costume design school up there. But I was talking to her. I'm like, hey, listen, I want to do Arthas from World of Warcraft.
Nice. I've seen some good ones too.
And she told me, okay, no problem. These are the materials that you need. That you need. No. It wasn't anything crazy.
I'm in like the $400 range on the cosplay that I have in mind.
I haven't actually looked at how much material I'm gonna need or how much it costs. I mean, I looked at like the base one is Warbla, I guess is what it's called, and it's very pliable, and you just have to heat it up, shape it, mold it, and then it dries up. It's kind of like plastic that you just take a blow dryer to it, heat it up for hours, and then mold it, and. But the thing is, if I wanted to do something like a Arthas, I'd want to go crazy and have
yeah.
LEDs like in the
Yeah,
eyes
me too.
and then fog. I'll just start vaping and then just I come out the eyes because his stuff is just frost coming out and then Frostmourne. Oh girl, I would need lights on that because I would want a full scale Frostmourne. I'm not gonna have like a
little link sword.
Exactly. Well, that's what I should do. I should do a full on Arthas costume, and then just get a 2x4 and draw the runes up the 2x4.
It's funny you mentioned that. That's what's keeping me from doing cosplay is knowing that I don't want to do it unless it's amazing, and then not knowing that I don't have the skills to make it amazing.
Exactly.
So
and it's just like I don't think I don't have the skills. It's just
the time and the
commitment
to the project.
I'm so...
You're a busy person. You're like the busiest person I know.
I know. I barely have time for breathing.
Yeah.
But it's just I would want to do it correctly. I'm looking at the little pop vinyl that I have of Arthas up there.
There's some sweet skins for him if you ever play Heroes of the Storm too. You can play like Lich King Arthas.
But there's also been a few other things that I've looked at. It's like that would be a pretty easy cosplay, especially doing
none of mine are easy.
Now that Kate and I we do a whole bunch of we go to Disney all the time. The whole thing is Disney bounding, which are you don't go in costume, but your outfit is kind of inspired by.
Wow, you guys are really into it.
No. We don't do it.
Oh, okay.
She's done it a few times where she went to Disneyland and she went as Kylo Ren. So she didn't have the mask or anything. Oh shit, she didn't have the mask or anything, but she had kind of a shawl.
So it was like
black. Exactly. It's just like everyday clothes. But if you looked at it, you're like, okay,
you're implying
you're Kylo Ren.
It's funny you mentioned that because I've seen some really good themed just dresses and stuff at Disney. I went to Disney Springs.
That makes you want to buy it for yourself?
For my wife, but
sure.
It's just not worth $130.
His wife.
A nice dress. Yeah, me in a dress.
There is no wife.
What's the girl in Nightmare Before Christmas? Is it
Sally?
Yeah. I almost said Sarah. Anyways, yeah, pretty awesome. Like you think of themed kitschy touristy stuff, and you think a lot of it looks tacky, but I don't know who designs their stuff, but it actually looks really legit, like nice clothes that you would wear.
They have some good stuff. They have some nice stuff, and there's been some dresses that I've looked at it with Kate because we go to we went to downtown Disney a few times, and you see it, and I'm just like, man, that's some nice material.
Same with I saw like a spell book purse that was there. I've seen a Necronomicon one before, but this was I don't remember which story it must have been from. But it was really cool, and of course my wife's a small titty goth girl.
I was actually talking about the big titty goth girls to somebody. That's why you should bring that up.
Yeah, like when Halloween comes around, I'm just like, all bets are off. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna do Dia de los Muertos in the living room. Yeah, let's do it all. She's probably watching The Good Witch right now, which is a witch show made by the Hallmark Channel, so it's just like pure like bread soaked with water with butter on it. It's just so mushy and smarmy and smug. I just can't stand it.
Nice word.
Ugh. If you look at any still from that show, everyone's always just like
but like so talking about the costumes and then like the dresses. So some of the stuff that I like when it comes to these fairy tales, the Disney fairy tales or whatever, are a lot of the villains, but also like the Wicked Witch, like Maleficent.
I saw a really cool Maleficent tattoo yesterday.
Stuff like that, and then when it comes to the protagonist, it's my favorite is Alice. And I wanted to say that there's really a is Alice really a protagonist? Because I mean, she is a good choice because
she's a literary character, like as a book that's very important,
right? And
she was in the games American McGee's Alice, which was like gothy, bloody.
Oh yes, I forgot about that.
Cool. My wife loves that.
But
loves all of them.
But I'm just thinking about the original Grimm's fairy tales, and then also Disney's. Well, I guess that Alice was not a Grimm's fairy tale. Alice was.
There was a lot of crossover though, because they've adopted a lot of folk tales, but also when they did that like Once Upon a Time show, there was a lot of tie-ins.
That's my jam.
My wife watched that show.
That is my jam.
There was like tie-ins with Frozen and stuff. And it was just like
But
it was a Disney vehicle at that point, even though it was supposed to be folk tales.
And the thing is, like, I could go as like an outfit inspired by Alice. I guess I could go as an outfit inspired by exactly. Alice is like what that powder blue and white. Something like that. I could kind of make an outfit with that.
Blue suspenders,
with like suspenders, and stuff like that. But
the cosplay that I wanted to do before this one was a really obscure. I know you like the Sierra, like King's Quest game.
Yes, that's one that I was thinking of doing. Yes, yes.
It's an obscure. I feel weird because I can't remember the name right now. I think it's called Praetoria. It's a robot character in like a post-apocalyptic world, and I think it's either free or super cheap on Steam, and I'm gonna recommend it to you. I'm gonna send it to you a message because it's really good. Anyways, the main character, his name is Horatio, and he's this like android with like a floating android sidekick. And I was like, just like you said with the sword, I was like, man, lights for the eyes, just I want to do it all. And even if like 2 people get it, I'm gonna be like, I don't care. It's gonna be awesome.
I'm actually, because that's actually one that I've thought about was Prince Alexander from the King's Quest 6.
Oh, nice.
And it's a very I wouldn't say medieval.
Yeah.
But no, it wasn't really a tunic. It was like a gray. It was like a green and I want to say red, like had like red triangle shirt, and it was definitely an easier outfit to do because it's just I just need to get the top, get the bottoms, call it a day, some boots, call it a day. But again, who is going to look at that and be like, Prince Alexander of Daventry?
People would probably go with like tangled. You know what I mean? There's that very standard Disney Prince look of like
but if I
a
guess,
billowy shirt.
If somebody is like, oh my God.
Are you Gaston? No.
If somebody's like, oh my God, you're Prince Alexander. I'm like, bro, high five. That would be amazing.
I've actually been thinking about doing Wario lately. Like, because one of the things I texted you about is like, if we were to play like game themes, the Portal theme, and anime themes on stage, you could just go so crazy because like that band that I showed you earlier, Galnerius, all those anime songs, they're so over the top. They're like just long hair, colors, crazy outfits, and I would be Wario, but with another mustache over my mustache.
So that way, it's just you get that W.
This is my stunt mustache. But it probably wouldn't last very long because I'd be like singing and.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd either rip it off or it would come off.
God, I wouldn't be able to do that. I would go crazy if I had a fake mustache on there.
A mustache over your mustache. It'd be funny though.
It would be.
I don't want to ruin the joke for whenever I actually maybe do it. Whoever's watching will understand. If I could even jump around and I could always be an idiot, but
it'll help you lose weight, man.
Yeah, actually, that's funny you mentioned that. I'm gonna sign up for a dance exercise class with our buddy Danny. You remember Danny?
Oh yes, yes, I do remember him. He and I always had it out.
Oh really?
Yes.
I didn't remember it until you mentioned it. Now I only vaguely remember it.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm getting fat, and I want to do something that's more productive than just like doing for the sake of doing it. Obviously the other option is martial arts. One of the guys that I work with does Muay Thai, and he was saying like
that's a workout, man.
Yeah, he's saying I'm not a fighter, I'm a martial artist. He's like, I don't compete, and he's in great shape, and he's like, I competed once just to say that I've done it, and that's where I would have to be because I have like a back injury and some other stuff going on. So I was like, if I get grappled the wrong way or something, I know there's no grappling in Muay Thai.
Well, there is
standing grappling.
Yeah, there's the clinch, and then you get a couple good knees in.
Knee in my
exactly
stitches 50 times.
Right,
but
and that would not be good.
Yeah. So yeah, I could do it on like the sense of exercise. But anyways, I want to do something that's applied rather than just like, okay, I'm gonna run for 2 hours. Although I do like listening to ebooks while I run.
I would not be able. Anytime I go running, it's loud power metal. It's just like as metal as it could get, and
I can see that. Like Spotify lists have just made for working out.
Because it's supposed to be the theory is you're supposed to have, I think it's 140 BPMs,
and you match the music to you
or more. Exactly. Well, I mean, obviously, if you go like 200 BPMs, you're trying to match that. Oh, girl.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, I think it's 140 to 144 BPMs, and it's supposed to be the good pace and. Yeah, there's one song by this band Arch Enemy, and every time that song would come on, because I use Google Play Music, and I would set it on one specific playlist, and it just randomizes the songs.
But they're all kind of like...
But they're mostly the same. And there was one song that by Arch Enemy that would come on, and I don't know what it was about that song, the beat or what, but when that song came on, I was like, that was my second one. I was like, oh shit, dude, I got this.
That's the song that I played for you earlier. I keep mentioning it. It's the song from Hunter x Hunter, Hunting for Your Dream by Galnerius. It's just like so... Bow, bow. It's like go go go.
Yeah.
Like let's go.
Yeah.
That's what I feel when I listen to it when I drive. I listen to it when I shower. I was like,
yeah. If you have a playlist like that, then yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, here it comes. I'm good.
Sneeze break.
Nope.
We'll fix it in post.
Nope. I'm gonna stop. Don't sneeze.
I don't even think I could sneeze without hurting myself right now. I woke up. I got awakened. I woke up with pain in my back so bad I couldn't go back to sleep. And
you're trying to tell your life as a novel.
Yeah, I don't know. I at least want to choose my sentences fairly well.
David was awoken suddenly by a sharp pain.
Yeah. I am in a 4,000 level English class where it's just like whatever words I can use to make myself.
I got waked up, y'all.
The teacher is so like straight laced and professional that he literally is like, do not ever use an exclamation mark. If you use an exclamation mark, I will fail you.
What do you have to say? He exclaimed and then ended with a period?
Well, he's like, there's no exclamation marks in the Declaration of Independence, and there's no exclamation marks in the I Have a Dream speech. If they can go without it, your shit is not important enough to have it. And I was like, that's a fair point.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's like super,
I'm glad I'm not in college anymore. Shit.
Yeah. But I'm doing okay, so I think I mentioned before that he used my first homework assignment as the example for the class. So
yeah,
like,
nerd.
But now I'm stuck in this box where like I'm just doing that same thing over and over again, like almost like color by numbers.
The bar's so high set
I'm
that
so afraid to change
you don't want to teeter on that.
My paragraph structure. Does he like how I use semicolons? And that's the other thing. He's like super. Man, if you want to get confused, look up high-end uses of the semicolon, because he's a doctor and everything he told me about semicolons and colons is exactly the opposite of what the authorities of MLA formatting have told me about. I know this is riveting. This is riveting fucking podcast.
We're talking about the use of semicolon. Wait. We start from cosplay to the use of the semicolon.
This is what my life is going through, okay? I hurt myself really bad.
That's right. We were talking about how you hurt yourself.
Yeah, I'm barely able to get out of bed this morning. I'm like guilting my wife into giving me a serious deep tissue like elbow in the spine massage.
Oh.
Eventually, it finally got to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm not crippled for life, but I expected to come in here, find Adam, have his foot still messed up, and be like, this is the Bunch of Broken Old Men podcast.
I'm
talking about how much our bodies hurt, how tired we are.
I'm permanent. I am permanently in pain and tired. Really? So,
you just push through it.
Yeah.
Man, I'm already at the point where I'm like, no, I don't want to push through it.
Like even today, we were doing certain blocks. And one of the guys that the guy that I was with, partnered up with, he's fighting next month with me and some of the other guys, and we have to toughen up pretty much our forearms, because when you're blocking and you're trying to knock punches out of the way, you want to make sure you could take a punch to your forearm so that way you could knock it out. So we were working on blocks, and I was not going light on him, so we were going forearm to forearm, pretty much.
Oh, bone to bone.
Exactly, bone to bone. Oh. And for me, now, I'm used to it a little bit. Not him so much.
Let me ask you,
what's up?
When you're going bone to bone like that, and you're conditioning yourself, does your body actually respond to that?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Your mind that.
Oh yeah. And my shins are messed up from kicking and
do they like
going shin to shin.
Kind of like scarify the skin and muscle around it?
If you feel my shins, they're like braille.
Yeah.
Because it's just they keep getting knocked and knocked out.
It's just tissue.
It's just, I'm not sure if it's both, but if it just heals, and then I do it again, and it heals. Do it again, it heals, and just like I said, my shins are like braille. And yes, your brain responds, and that's why you train to do this, because then when you kick somebody and you feel that pain, you don't immediately stop. Like, oh my God, stop the fight. No, you kick somebody, And it's like, shit, this sucks. Let me kick them again.
Yeah.
Let me kick them again.
I think the hardest, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems to me like the hardest thing that anyone who would ever have to fight would have to get used to is being hit in the nose. Because I've had my nose broken, and I've been hit in the nose by my brother just when we were kids horsing around. And it's like, it's almost like getting hit in the nuts. It's like bright white flash, searing pain, like, oh God, please stop, please stop.
So I've not had the honor, I guess, of getting punched in the nose with a fist, except for with punching gloves, with boxing gloves.
Yeah.
Because in Muay Thai, and exactly, you just get that, if somebody gets that good straight hit straight into your nose, you get that white flash, what the hell was that?
I've been punched in the nose like that twice, where it was a white flash, and then after the flash was gone, I was on the floor, and I don't remember the intervening time between that.
The worst that happened to me was, I think it was my first fight. So this time last year, I was getting ready for my first fight, and I was talking to my Muay Thai coach, and he was like, okay, on the weekends you and I will train, and so that way you get as much in as possible. And he and I were going, and he was measuring me out, and that's what you do. You measure out
like leg distance.
No, no, just trying to see. Okay, he throws left, right, and a kick. He throws right, left, kick, whatever, and just try to say, okay.
It's like Jurassic Park. It's like, could have a girl.
Exactly, and that's what it is. And he's just like, okay, so we're going at it, and I could see clearly that he's trying to keep it in mind. But then he caught on to something that, if he were to push me with like either a kick or just actually push, I slid in so that way I could go in. He used
it against you.
He did it once. He did it twice. On the third time, he pushed me, and when I was rushing in to go punch him, he lifted up his knee.
Ooh.
It went straight into the solar plex, Oh, exactly. That is exactly what it was. Just like you're swinging on the jungle gym and then you land on your back.
Or you're crushing grapes on the news.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what it was. I spit my mouth guard out, took off my gloves. I could not catch my breath.
So this wasn't like a match.
No.
Because I was gonna say the mouth guard coming out is like, I want to stop, but.
No,
he hasn't told me to stop. No one's told me to stop, so I guess it's his problem.
It was just him and me sparring, but we weren't going light because he was his thought process. You're about to go into a fight, no gloves, no padding.
Your matches don't have gloves.
No gloves. No. The only thing is you can't punch or elbow to the face, but you can kick or knee to the face.
I would think a kick would be worse.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, and everybody says, well, why the hell do you guys do it like that? Because the thing is, it's quicker to come out with a punch, and it's quicker to come out to a punch to the face. But if you were to come up with a kick, you have plenty of time to block. And the thing is, like, that's my theory with it. The whole thing is, when the Kyokushin tournaments were getting started, the Kyokushin tournaments are open to every martial arts style. As long as you abide by our rules, we don't care. But not a lot of people were signing up in the beginning because nobody wanted to get hit in the face bare knuckle. And so they changed it so that it was more accommodating to other people. It's still bare knuckle, but you can't punch or elbow to the face. But again, I've been kicked to the face now twice. Once almost knocked me out.
So I can't really watch a lot of fight footage because there's so many horrific shin shatters and stuff like that make it to the highlight reels. I'm like, I can't.
Yeah, but you're watching the highlight reels, which is like, it's
either
the best.
It's like
here's the 10 best and here's the 10 worst. Like that's what the highlight reels are.
That's what I couldn't understand about when I found out that the guy I work with fights, because he's so chill and he's so nice. Like, I can't see him wanting to inflict damage once. So I almost see, which would probably be the same problem I would have, is almost like an unintentional repression, because you're like, at the end of the day, that it's like a living thing and you don't want to kill it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like, I'm more type B. I'm not like aggressive. Like, I'm gonna destroy you. I'm like,
I'm gonna wreck it.
And that's why he says, I'm a martial artist. I'm not a fighter. Yeah, that's probably.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I guess that I'm more of a fighter, but
I never would have called you like competitive before you fought. Does that make sense? Well, I just didn't.
I mean, I would say I was. I mean,
your work competitive?
No, I don't know about
But
work
think about the
competitive.
context
I mean,
that you're in.
I am somewhat competitive
Yeah.
at work, but when it came to video games,
I guess so.
I was
just
competitive
didn't
with
really
Call
have
of
a lot
Duty.
of like data of situations where you had a chance to be competitive.
Data. Dave is analyzing me
talking
now.
about colons, semicolons, and data. Like my nephew,
And not the punctuation colon. But go on.
My nephew, we would be playing, like I had kendo swords, and we would be like playing for fun, and he would go like full force to try to hit me in the face, or we'd be playing Diablo 3 split screen, and he'd be like, "My guy can kick your, I'm so much better." And it's just like shit talking the whole time, and I'm like, hey, we're on the same team, but like I know that that's a competitive behavior. So it's like I get it, but I was never that guy.
I'm very
fuck
competitive.
you.
Yeah, I'm very competitive.
Yeah.
Well, when it comes to certain things, I'm very competitive, but with martial arts it's also a humbling thing, even though the
I
whole,
can see that. It's like a tempering of yourself.
the whole concept is there's no you don't lose, you learn.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've come out to with each fight where I've lost a fight. I take it. I was like, okay, what did I do wrong?
It's like you're both on the same path, and if they beat you, they're ahead of you on that path. So your goal is to also get up.
Well, I wouldn't say that they're ahead of me in the path or anything like that, but sure.
You know what I mean? It's like he didn't cheat. He didn't draw the winning card. He did it.
Yeah. Well,
he's put himself in that position to do that thing.
Exactly. But no, when it comes to I'm very competitive, and don't come between me and that.
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah.
I've spent so much of my life literally just chasing girls, or like that was my
that was your competitive.
That was my competition. Was like, getting fans or getting a girl, or is like I didn't put that energy towards school and work. I was
and
like,
now look at us.
Yeah. Well, me. I mean, hopefully going to graduate soon. I'm actually at the point right now where I have everything in place to get this really high-end internship, and I almost don't even want to do it because I just don't want to be that busy. I have,
you don't want to join me in the little bit of free time that I have.
Just talking about music makes me want to like put aside time for music, but it's like if I have this internship, that's it. Like I wouldn't even get my homework done.
But that's okay. I see what you mean, because then you would have to balance school, work, and then also music.
I had an hour and a half long meeting today, and I had a 2.5 hour long meeting for this class project on Tuesday, and I'm like, I'm literally rushing to get home, get my homework done, get it turned in, wake up, get my homework done, go to work, get home, homework, go to sleep. It's like,
Well, I mean, and that's exactly how for me, I haven't I've actually stopped streaming for about 2 weeks now, just because I just needed a break, and for me it was
I'm so
crazy.
relieved when I hear you say these things, because I'm like, I thought that you thrived in that like self-punishment, pushing yourself environment. So for you to say, like, I need a break, I'm like, thank you.
No, and that's the thing. I'll sometimes take a day to myself where I'm not doing anything like just martial arts, just like no martial arts or anything, because sometimes I'll need a day to just relax.
I bet there's days where your body tells you like, we're not doing
absolutely. And like I said, before, my schedule was wake up at 6:30, get ready for work until 5 o'clock, then rush to the dojo, train until 9 p.m.
Could
here.
you do me a favor? Every time you say the dojo, could you do this?
Pop my collar.
Going to my dojo.
No, not the dojo.
Going to Sensei's dojo.
And that was it. Not 9 o'clock. Come here, then stream until 12:30. Just go to sleep, rinse, repeat, and it was just that over and over and over again. That I was just like, okay, I'm not stopping martial arts. I'm not quitting my job just yet. I'm not quitting my job.
We'll fix that in post.
I'm not quitting my job. It's just like, okay, so the one thing that I can, take out to give myself a bit of a break was streaming. And I've now, that, and actually it's helped out a lot, because I've been playing guitar every single day that I normally would be streaming. I've just picked up my guitar and just played until 11 o'clock at night, and then go to sleep.
I don't find that my gaming itinerary is really acceptable for streaming. I'll be like, I want to play this game for half an hour. No, I want to play this game for half an hour. To put like a structure on something that I'm trying to do to relax is just like a weird fit for me. Unless I find a game that I'm just like so obsessed with that game that I will not play anything else, and I'm like, okay, I'd probably stream this game. But those are like infatuations that only last 6 months, and then I'll never play that game again. So I don't know.
I've never actually. What was the tank game that you played on the PS2? Was it Tales of? No, it wasn't that one. It was a JRPG. There was like
with mechs.
Yeah, no, yeah. It was like military Japanese. It was like JRPG.
Valkyrie Chronicles.
That is Valkyrie Chronicles. Yeah. That was it.
I have the new one on PC. Well, newest one.
And I think no, never mind. Because I've never seen you as somebody like me. I play Diablo 3. Mm-hmm. I play World of Warcraft, and it's like I've been playing these games forever. Yeah, I've never seen you. Oh, I guess that's right. Hearthstone. Yeah.
Every day I go in and do. I have 3 accounts, and they're all.
Yeah, I see you. I see you pop up on Blizzard on my Battle.net every once in a while playing Hearthstone. I guess that's the only game
Hearthstone's a weird game. It's very solitary. You're never like, let's get my buddy and play Hearthstone. It's just like you don't make friends there. You just shit on each other, and if you get a friend invite, you're like, oh, here we go. This guy, you that recent opponent wants to be your friend. You're like, all right, let me cut and paste my either my totally toxic response or my impossible to be toxic response. Control paste it and unfriend them before they have a chance to. Like sometimes I drive people nuts. They'll be like, you son of a bitch, you only won because, and I was like, well played. Like you just got lucky. Well played. Yeah. And I just refuse to engage in the toxic conversation. Like, have a nice day.
No, and I mean, I guess that must go with the personality type that I guess that we are. That comes down to that too.
Like I do get that high, like PUBG, that chicken dinner high, where I just like run a car into someone's car at full speed, and we both jump down, and I gun them down. I'm like, get someone, I'm just like, the one time that I did go full like smack talk, jock, roid rage on this guy, he was like, really good job, man. Hey, you keep going. I'm gonna go uninstall. in the area shot, and I was like I won the fight, but he won the conversation. It was so funny. I was like, I can't believe you just hit me with that. He was dead. He was just dead sincere too.
But no, and you bounce around for different games. So would it be ideal for streaming? Maybe not. But
it's weird too because I've picked up so many groups of friends that kind of crumbled apart because the day of that game ended. Like I had a League of Legends group that came together every night and played League. And now that we've all kind of gone our separate ways, if one of us sees another one online, we'll be like, oh my god, I haven't seen you in 5 years, And this goes all the way back to like early 2000s RPGs, MMOs, like Ultima Online and Dark Age of Camelot, like whatever it was. Those friend groups always like dissipated, and you just pop in every like 5 years and go, hey, good to see you. Actually, strangely enough, one of the people from one of my game groups is like a games journalist, so I'll see an article written by them. And I'm like,
nice.
Yeah. Whatever. Good for them. It's cool.
No big deal. I just know somebody that writes about video games all the time.
It's not a big thing, but it's just cool. It's just cool to me because, like, I know you. I know how you think. That's cool.
I know how you think.
Yeah.
It's a little weird.
It's weird because Ultima is like very role play in the classical sense of the word. Like you act like your character.
Yeah.
You talk like your character. You dress your character. Your character is an avatar you don't know who's behind that keyboard unless they decide to,
tell you about it. Yeah.
It's a very weird and eclectic community. They also talk in that like stage Shakespearean, like thou and thee, because like the NPCs talk like that. So like if you really want
you want to actually role play.
Yeah. It's pretty weird. I've had some fun times on there where I like insult people and then die. Like, whatever. I still won.
Yeah. No, but yeah, like you said, sometimes you just need to give yourself a break. And luckily, I would say luckily, I do miss streaming. I kind of want to get back into it with the me playing guitar. But who wants to see an old man learning how to play guitar? And it's just like, I mean, I could play my drums, I could play my bass, but me on a 6-string guitar.
You say stuff like that, but if we were to do this crazy cover band thing, you could totally be the DJ. Like right now, you could do. I'm sure you have whatever software you would need to set up a couple things, and like because a lot of the songs that I want to play have strings or they have things that we don't play, so like they would have to be digitally done, like keyboard.
Oh, you're just talking about just like engineering, like
No,
audio engineering like that.
Not just samples, but also like you can play strings on a keyboard.
Yeah,
and the melody, they're just real simple melodies. Like we could put on an awesome show just having the pieces together that we already have. So that's something. But
the thing is, like when it comes to music like that, because I have synthesizers, I have keyboards, exactly. I have a whole bunch of stuff. When it comes down to it, I want to actually play the song on. If it's on a guitar, I want to be able to play it.
Well,
and
I'm talking about more like string, like the Attack on Titan theme song has tons of strings.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh okay, yeah. I mean that's like a full orchestra.
Yeah, exactly.
But they have it's not Leo. I forgot who the hell it was. One of the other YouTube musicians. He has.
I think I know the one you're talking about. He does English for like covers. And he usually goes like half a step down because he obviously is like a chubby white man, not a Japanese man with a crazy register.
I'm not sure. I don't think he sings on any of them, but he has metal covers of these songs, and one of them is Attack on Titan, and it sounds real good. But that's the thing. Like if I want to do something like a cover like that, then I'd want to know really do it just like I don't want to do a verbatim copy.
Yeah, me neither. I don't think that would be very fun for an audience either.
No,
like at the end of the day, it's still kind of like a rock show. They expect a certain kind of like ballsiness. And
don't get me wrong. I could possibly engineer all this stuff, but at the same time, I want to be able to play the stuff. Sure. But if it's not me playing all the instruments, then I'd want to get a group of people that's like, okay, you can play this, cool. You'll do this, and that's yes, I gotta play the drums, the bass, the guitar. If I were to learn the parts, and I could record
But I'm just saying, when I bring these things up, you're like, I'm not quite up to that level yet, and I'm like, yeah, but you could be, you know what I mean? Like we could just do it.
Oh no doubt about it. I could, if I spent the time and I could, either electronically make it. Hell yeah, it won't take me much to do it electronically. Or if you want me to learn just the guitar, yeah, I'll spend.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I will spend the time, and because it's been a little more than 2 months or so since I got my guitar and been playing it, and it's just like, okay, I'm at a point where I'm pretty comfortable now with 6 strings. Before it was, man, I picked up a 6-string. I want to say like 5 years ago. I was like, how the shit do I do any of this stuff?
And then, also, a lot of the things they play is like you can play kind of a simpler version. Like if they do a 20-note run in 3 seconds, you could do 16.
Well, of course,
and it'll still sound really good.
But there's also the rhythm or the lead, and most stuff, unless you're Alkaline Trio that has just one guitar, one bass, one.
Same with AFI, right? Just one.
No, they have 2 guitars.
I thought they had one.
Jade and I forgot the other guy, but
Hunter?
Actually they may have. I have to look it up. I'm not sure now. They
may
only have.
I think they had the same guy just play again.
They may actually only have 4: one lead, one guitar, bass, Davey Havoc, and then the drummer.
I'm pretty sure.
But
which was impressive for what they did.
But yeah, but still, there's still if there is a rhythm section, then it's mostly just chords,
exactly.
or just like over and over and over.
If you just play whole notes, like nobody cares. Like it's still a complete piece of music. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and again, I could spend the time and learn the song. I would, and that's what I would love to do. And if we were to, do a cover or make a cover, hell yeah.
The thing that really gets me is like, I've been listening to tons of Nightmare, Galnerius, just these like Japanese bands that play anime intro songs, and the songs have like 50 million views, and all these people love it, but they'll never ever ever see that band live, or they'll never even hear that song performed live. Yeah. So just to get there at like MegaCon and do 10 of those songs, and
you're gonna learn the words in Japanese.
If you guys are willing to learn the songs, I'm willing to. First of all, a lot of them do have like cover of a cover in English where we could cover the cover. But,
coverception.
Especially if they do the step down that I was talking about, like it's helpful to learn a version that is step down instead of trying to remember how to step down the notes in real time.
I mean, you can't hit those high octaves.
I think you'd be surprised. Some of them I can, but a lot of them after, especially if you're like at the end of a set, you're like, I'm not doing that.
No, yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I can't sing worth a shit.
We
So
used to do Roxanne by the Police, and in the studio, in the practice, it sounded great. But when we were like at a smoky ass bar, and I've been talking for 2 hours to people over the music of other bands playing, by the time I got to the thing, I was like, I literally cannot sing this song.
Yeah.
So I was just like, oh god, I'm embarrassing myself. But, and somebody from local radio was there, so I was just like humiliated. But anyways, you know, you live and you learn, like you said. And yeah, so a couple we would do step down, it'd be fine. But there's other like music around nerd culture that people would know, like the like I said, the Portal song, or there's a song from a PS2 game that I actually really want to cover. It's like a punk rock song too, like a JRPG with an anime, style. Disgaea.
Of course, JRPG.
Yeah.
Oh, Disgaea.
I actually don't play JRPGs anymore. Like
bullshit. You're a weeb.
No, I don't. I'm like, I've been there. I get it. I know what it's about.
Been there, done that. I'm done with it.
Yeah. There's nothing they can do that can surprise me anymore. But
and you know, I've been talking to some other Osbug and Rocktism
lined up, like he's ready to go.
Yeah,
I've never heard him play, but I'm pretty sure he's good because he likes metal. So
so Osbug and Rocktism, Osbug is doing a charity stream for TwitchCon next week, and after that he's switching up to do more music making. So he's
like screen share and stuff.
Well, no, just writing songs and playing them. And one of the things that we're going to be working on is just, you know, covers.
Ooh,
and we're going to be working on covers, and then, you know, not just like a regular cover. We'll take a metal song and make a swing version of it.
It's funny you mention that because I actually really like that. There's this guy named Connor Engstrom that I found him through a Sega Genesis RPG metal cover that he did, but he did the Final Countdown as like a swing metal hybrid song. It sounds really good.
Yeah, and we want to do stupid stuff like that, and you know, I've talked about to you guys boy bands. Mm-hmm. Shit, I want to cover NSYNC, Backstreet Boys. I would do
Hit Me Baby One More Time as a metal
Hit Me Baby One More Time.
I've heard it as a metal song, like live, and I was like,
I think it's on one of the Punk Goes Pop albums.
I tried not to be that like lame guy who had the like compilation CDs and was like, I know this band because I knew them from compilation.
Oh, you want to be the cool guy? Okay, I got you.
Like, yeah, I was a elitist little asshole.
Yeah.
In junior high. Not so much in high school, but in junior high school.
Well, the Punk Goes Pop didn't come out until, you know, you guys were in the band. And
you guys were like 45.
No, I was gonna say, you know, when that scene, that weird emo screamo scene that we were in, was like a big thing. That's when the Punk Goes Pop, Punk Goes Crunk, all those.
I was listening to a band that never really got off the ground, and I was like, this is really good. Like, why didn't they? They were on the Equal Vision, you and Series. I was like, this is really good. I saw them live, and I was like, it was good live too. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just happens. A band comes out and it just kind of fizzles out, and you're like, okay, see you later.
Yeah, I mean, As Tall as Lions. Yeah. That was like,
yeah, exactly.
It's a shame.
I was a super huge fan of this band called Paulson too.
Yes, and that's one of the bands that you showed me. I was like, holy crap!
I love that band. I saw them live. Yeah. Their lead singer was going around stage on roller skates, like falling down and busting his ass, and just like still going. And I was like, this is the best thing ever. And Back Booth. Imagine roller skating around the stage at Back Booth.
That's
literally like as big as this table.
Yeah, that's a small stage.
Yeah, especially once you have all your amps and stuff set up.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and shit. Again, you know, I'm always down to play music. Nobody's been coming out. You know, it sucks that.
That's what I'm saying. When would we? Like,
and I was about to say, you know, it sucks with my schedule, but typically Sundays are the only times that I really have, off to really
pursue life.
Yeah, to do something like I have people over to do, you know, us play music. But, you know, life happens. Yeah. Life happens with other people. You know, you have your work. You know, you don't have a steady schedule like mine or something like that. Or, you know, Adam, his broken foot or his broken home. Yeah, I don't know. You know.
No, I'm probably the one with the broken home.
No, but it's like, I have another buddy that he's a metal guitarist, and I've been trying to get
Online
him.
buddy or local?
No, he's a local buddy,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been trying to get him. But the one time that he was able to do it was when the hurricane was coming to destroy Florida, and it was like,
Yeah, I think I saw that conversation.
all hands on deck, and then he was like, he messaged me, he was like,
Hunker
hey,
down.
yeah, it was like, hey man, listen, this shit's gonna come destroy us. I need to take care of my house. I'm like, hey, completely understand.
Yeah. Every time a hurricane came, I used to get one of those big Rubbermaid tubs, put all my PC and console stuff in it, and duct tape it shut in case the water level rose. Of course, it never paid off, but
And
it's good
now
to have a plan.
And now you look at the TV like, oh, hurricane's coming. Fuck
Like,
it.
I'll buy some cans. I'll be fine.
Yeah, while you're still on the computer, like playing.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, and
But-
literally playing until.
Oh shit! Let me order on Amazon some food real
I did
quick.
that. I ordered stuff and I was like, I hope it gets here before the storm because those poor guys. It was like a 36 case of energy drinks. I was
Oh my god!
like, ugh, I can't imagine sitting in the hot with no power, like drinking energy drinks and just sweating and being in the
That would be
heat of life.
awful.
Yeah, and
That's like the
you're
last thing I
"I'm
would
so
want to have."
miserable. I better have a beer. Like I'm just like caffeine, beer, and death from sweat.
Yeah, but I think that those were if there were anything that I would not want to have during a hurricane, is beer and an energy drink.
Yeah, no. I don't really drink a whole lot, but anyways, for me, the real suffering from losing power is like mental suffering.
Yep.
Like lack of stimulation, lack of something to do to relax. It's just
Yeah.
more like
Well, I got
paper books.
2 years ago when the last hurricane came, when last one hurricane 3 years ago, that I was out of power for 2 weeks. I got lucky. Well, I wouldn't say I was lucky because I still had to go to work, but I had my Switch. Like I had my, and what I would do is I would charge my Switch at work.
It
Come
was a good
here.
thing I had my Nintendo Switch
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I would sit here.
for gaming on the go. Nintendo Switch.
But also we had a small generator that my ex's parents lent us, and it was propane, and we had plenty of propane tanks at that time. And just if I needed to charge it, I would charge it there. But yeah, I would sit, because it was hot as hell in here, I would sit out front. It was nicer out front than it was
I
here.
was sleeping in my car with the windows down. I
Ugh.
was like, if someone kills me, then whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care. It's too hot.
You did tell me that you were sleeping in your car.
Yep. All the windows were covered in metal because my brother works in pool enclosures.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. Did
I say it on the podcast?
Yeah, you did.
God.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna hang myself with a microphone cord.
Don't do that.
See you guys in the afterlife.
But
Catch episode 9 from heaven.
yeah.
I bet heaven has a great Wi-Fi.
What?
It sounds like a Jewel song. Like, who will give me the Wi-Fi
Nope.
password?
Nope. No.
Is it gonna be? That's the last thing you're gonna think of before you go to sleep tonight.
Try to think. I'm trying to think. It sounds like a country song almost.
Oh yeah.
Not like Jewel pop country, because that's like kind of what
like
she
Merle
is.
Haggard, like
But
truck on the highway.
Is that exactly? And it comes back to that. I have that. Life is a highway stuck in my head. I just want to get it out of my head. I hate that. I just hate that. I have it stuck in my head.
That's a time period too of like very earwormy like pop rock songs. Sometimes I wonder like how do these bands ever make it like REM or like
Don't you dare say how did they make it REM?
I don't want to see it like I don't know.
Just because it doesn't appeal to you.
No, I actually kind of like their music, but I just don't see how like you had that whole Nirvana grungy like awful thing, and then you had these like
awful thing.
Well, I just meant like sludgy sounding guitars and like
Okay.
depressing.
I thought you were saying that they were just awful.
No, I'm just saying it was like a grunge. It was a grungy thing, and it was dirty. And then you have these like happy, clean, alternative rock bands like Train.
Yeah.
They're just like, girl, everything's fun, and then there's just like 80 million records sold.
Yeah, it was a kind of, what the hell was, I'm trying to think that.
I think it's the same thing that I accuse my wife's television of being, is just like wet, spongy bread. It's just easily digested.
But we were
just really bored women. You're just like, yeah, it sounds good.
I'm trying to think, because there was something that around the time that, again, you guys were recording the album, that every single song, every single like sceeny weeny song was doing. And I mentioned it's like
Tonight.
no.
Oh god, there's so many songs.
What was it? Na na na. It was those na na nas.
Oh yeah.
Like pretty much every song had that, and I was joking with I think Mike or
Once
Drew.
you start listening for it, you'll never hear.
And I was like, you guys just have to like put that in a song, and that's instantly a popular song. Because like at the time, every song that was in that genre had like the na na nas, like
right after that was like the Mumford and Sons explosion.
Yeah.
And that was all like ooh, like
I
called it the millennial whoop.
Yeah.
It was just this like, and whistling melodies was just like.
Yeah, it was like that's what you got. That, you have to find that one thing that's popular. Just
Go
it on it.
That's the weird thing about the music industry. It's like I can really spend a lot of work to like crystallize what's inside my soul and make it presentable to the world, or I can just do what everyone else is doing.
Yeah,
and it'll be 10 times easier and 20 times more successful.
But you just either do what you like to do, or
I actually have a lot of ideas for like stage presentation, and
lyrics,
music videos for
lyrics.
This. Well, I mean,
lyrics.
We can get to writing songs later. But I'm just talking about like the nuts and bolts of what a brand of a band that plays anime covers might look like.
I have some ideas in mind. It's actually funny to say. I don't want to say anything in case we do it. But
yeah, me too. That's what's stopping me going any further.
Like I'll tell you off camera, but I've actually had some ideas in mind because I was like, this will actually be interesting to do.
Yes.
I wasn't thinking of a anime cover band or anything like that, but it kind of actually fits with it, oddly enough.
Well, you can do originals too.
It was just with a.
I'm just talking about like having an audience.
Right. And I was just thinking, playing music and a certain kind of presence for myself. Yes. But again, I'll tell you more about it because I don't want. If this thing comes to fruition, then I don't want to.
So let me tell you about this guy that's a drummer.
All right, I lost interest. So, anyways, no, I'm kidding.
Well, he's into like really heavier metal and stuff, and he's a cool guy. And I've seen his friends; they're all like tattooed, cool guys. And
I'm tattooed. I'm not cool.
Anyways, I thought he was like a down guy who was like too cool for anime. So when I was like. Hey, I have this idea. I want to do this stuff. He's like a really slow texter. He'll text me back 2 or 3 days later. And I was expecting, I was expecting to be like, yo, bro, I don't get down with that. Like, that's some weeby shit or something like that.
Man, you a bitch. What the hell is that?
You fucking nerd.
Yeah.
When I got my haircut. Well, first of all, let me say that when I was a kid, nobody knew what any of this shit was. It was like something that you got from a dark corner of a VHS tape in some comic shop, and nobody ever knew what it was. If you found somebody who would like discuss any of it with you, you were oh my god, please, like I'm never going to see you.
And I guess that you were a little bit old. No, you're not really that much older than me. But then once I guess that would have been middle school for you was when Toonami Toonami became a thing.
Right. Like a couple years makes a huge difference when you're talking about the difference between having the internet and not having the internet. Or having VHS and having DVD. Like those couple years means a lot. And to the point where one time in class, somebody had like saved a graphic from an anime on the computer that was assigned to me for my keyboarding class, and I was like, "There's someone at the school who watches anime. Like I've never found anyone else other than like people who are
I had
too into it for me."
I had floppy disk on floppy disk on floppy disk of anime.
Yep. So that's what I'm saying. Like I just bought. I'll probably wear it for the podcast next time. But the Run DMC shirt, but it's Run D&D. Like I never would have worn a D&D shirt in junior high or high school. Like I would have been ostracized.
I think we talked about that once before, but yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, when I sent him the idea, he hit me back 2 or 3 days later, and he was like, "Yo, that sounds really cool." And he was like, "Here's what I did to my last set of drumsticks." And it's a glass display case of like destroyed drumsticks, but around them is like anime statue girls.
Oh my god!
I was like, dude,
that's hilarious.
Dude, I was so worried that you would be like, get out of here, but instead you trusted me enough to show me your waifus, and like I just really appreciate that, man.
Yeah, and I mean, if he's a drummer, does he have his own drum kit?
I don't know anything. He actually got fired from that job, so
okay. So you don't talk to him?
No, I'm still in touch with him, but I just never seen him play. I just assume that he's a good drummer by the fact that he's been in bands, he listens to metal, and he's beat the hell out of his drumsticks. I mean, so if I were to bring him here and be like, "Hey, Robbi, you want to play his drum?"
I've been in a band.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to metal.
Mm-hmm.
I've broken drumsticks. Do you think I'm a good drummer?
Robbie, don't kill my dreams before they're even born, okay? Like, you gotta let me start somewhere, man.
I'm somewhere between mediocre and irrelevant.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You keep saying I'm mediocre at this, I'm mediocre at that. I'm like, you can do something that you're not mediocre at. You know, like there's multiple things that make this picture come together. Especially if it's like an audio visual, like projectors of anime shit on the wall.
Oh, that's what you want me to do. You want me to do? You want me to be the audio visual? No.
Okay, like I'm not trying to pigeonhole you into doing anything you don't want to do.
Again, I don't know. I may be a little bit okay at bass.
Okay, good. So anyways, so yeah, I know a guy.
I know a guy.
Obviously, we have guitars and people lined up, but
yeah, it's just again finding the time for the people. And,
right. Because you do have to practice it like preferably twice a week, but if you once a week is okay.
But
especially if you're not writing songs, like if you're just doing covers that any of you could listen to.
But what's also good, it's hopefully other people would be able to practice on their own, and of course with the advent of the internet and all this stuff, it kind of does make it a little bit easier to be able to practice other places and kind of bring it together.
What you think. It's like. We'll video conference a practice session.
Well, I'm not only thinking, video conference, it could be you have off in the afternoon, you want to practice, the vocals, and then if you're like, oh shit, I got this down, let me record it. Boom, record it, send it, be like, hey, what do you guys think? And then, I'm free in the evenings. Everybody else is working or doing life stuff, I'm here. I'm here practicing. And I'm like, okay, here's what I think of this riff. What do you guys think? Let's change this to that. Cool. Here's the drums. What do you guys think about these drums? Toss it back and forth. That's how especially in this generation. It's so easy.
We know people who master, so we can get a good sounding recording just for promo. Or for,
I'm not saying that you may not have all the shit that I have, all these all these microphones.
I was just a trained monkey. I didn't bring my own microphone.
No,
or my own soundboard or anything.
No. But even if you want to record it on your phone, it'll be shitty quality, but.
Yeah, we talked about that. Be here with me, Robbi.
We'll be able to at least tell. Okay, here's what he intends on this section, or whatever. But I'm sure.
Do I just live in a fantasy land? Do I just fantasize about all the things I'm going to do without ever actually doing that?
Oh yes, sir.
Yeah.
No, you just gotta commit to it, and that's the thing. You just have to commit to it, and you have to find the time. It sucks being an adult and us having these responsibilities that we have. Obviously, my responsibilities are not martial arts, but however, that's like the life. That is a lifestyle that I want to live. Is a lot of martial arts.
Yeah.
But push comes to shove, we do something, and it starts to do well. Shit, I want to invest more time into it because me playing music, even if it's just me now learning how to play guitar, I'm still fucking loving it, and it's just like, oh, let me play some more guitar. I see myself getting better and better and better, and then I'm picking up on, this sounds good with this.
The thing about music too is like the better you get at it, the more you enjoy it.
So
if you already enjoy it now, like it's only going to go up from there.
Oh yeah, and I've never once felt like, oh, this is such a chore to put in an hour worth of practice. This is such a chore. No, I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and
like chord unlocked.
Yeah, God no.
When Achievements first came out and no one had explained it to me and I had never been exposed to it, I was like, can you buy stuff with those points?
Yes. Like, well, exactly. What is the point of it? Why give a set value to, like, I understand PlayStation's achievements. Silver, exactly. Bronze, silver, gold, because okay, the bronze are the easier ones, the silvers are more difficult, the golds are like, you gotta be good, and then the platinums are, holy fuck, you gotta be an expert at this game.
Yeah, that is weird when Microsoft is just like points.
It's like 10G, 100G.
They got some stupid tennis game that was like first gen from a bargain bin and gotten all the achievements and have a couple thousand points. There's actually people who farmed points. Like there was like the goal to be the highest, and they would sell accounts that have like 500,000.
But that's the thing. Like, what do you do with it? Like, yeah, okay, you're on the leaderboard. It's like, okay, look at how much time I've spent on all these achievements. Cool, I guess. I mean, there are people that do achievement hunting, and
that's why I never understood people who paid to have like a competitive game account grind it up to like platinum or challenge or something, because when you play, it's going to match you up with people at that skill level, and you're going to get absolutely face stomped every single time.
One of the things that when I was playing Counter-Strike, like
it's a good example.
Amateur, people were hunting. People wanted to buy low number Steam accounts. The people who signed up for Steam really early, like mine. And I'm not sure how many
like 10 years of service or 15 years.
Well, not that. This is the number of digits in the Steam ID. Like your actual Steam ID, you could, like in Counter-Strike, you could actually pull it up. And what pretty much why they wanted to do that was if you had a low number, that kind of showed, oh, I've been playing this game for a long time. I'm skilled at it. Yeah.
People are weird. You know what I'm really glad died out is, which to me lived in Counter-Strike, was like leet speak, like replacing letters with numbers.
That hasn't died.
A with the ampersand.
That hasn't died.
No?
No.
I feel like, I mean, it's not as big now as it was.
No, exactly. It's not as big as it is now. I think that people now like do it
ironically.
Exactly. If it is if it's out there, that like if it's very obvious, like there's like a whole thread of it. It's usually
like little x big X, little x big X, little x big X, annihilator with a 0 and a 7 for the T, little x big X, little x.
Right, and that kind of stuff is like it's being ironic, but there are some people that still just actually do it just. But
screen names in general is like such a cesspool. I remember when the internet first came out, and me and my buddy kind of sat down and were like, what are we going to be from now to forever? And we would go through like so many weird names. And I've actually had, this was one of the first ones I ever had. I just kept it.
Same here.
And, but yeah, other people would have these like elaborate, like almost like hackers, like zero cool.
Yeah.
I actually kind of like when I see someone with zero cool, because I know that it's like, a joke pretty much. It's like ironic. So yeah. What an age to be alive, that we all, as 11-year-olds, had to be like, I need a handle for the world to know me by. What about these like YouTube kids too? That's like, I need a call sign.
Well, I mean, that's just the world that we live in now. That's just exactly. It's younger and younger and younger.
Yeah.
And there was actually a kid that trains at my dojo. I think he's 13 years old. When you're at that age, you're like drawing on your hands and stuff like that. And on his knuckles, he wrote G-Man. And I looked at it, I'm like, G-Man.
What if he left like G-Man on your cheek backwards after he sparred with you?
Oh god, just like put it. Oh man, that was a good one. Yeah.
Damn it, dude! What did you write this with?
Yeah, no, and he was like, oh yeah, it's just my gamer tag. I was like, man, I never once wrote. In our time, it was it was kind of closeted. You weren't coming out. It was like I was a skater. I was,
and also actually.
And I skateboarded, and it was like
a lot of my screen names were like skate.
And then once I finally like embraced it, I'm like, shit, man, I'm a nerd. I played Pokemon. I started bringing my Game Boy into high school and stuff like that. I was like, I don't care.
My life was pretty much the same way, where it was like, I'm a nerd, but I need cover.
Great.
The cover is that I'm a skateboard punk rock guy, but really I'm a nerd.
Yeah, and then I stopped caring. I was just like, you know what, screw it. I brought in my Pokemon cards. I brought in, the Pokemon game and everything. I brought a
binder of Magic cards to school.
Yeah, Magic the Gathering. I started playing Magic the Gathering. So it was just like, I stopped caring at that point. But yeah, like I said, he had G-Man on his, and he was like, oh yeah, that's just my gamer. That's just, like I didn't see his other knuckles, but I'm guessing that he had his whole gamer tag, because obviously if he had G-Man, that's bullshit. He would not have had that.
Are finger tattoos cool? Like if I were to get a 2-4,
I've thought about it. I've honestly thought about getting my knuckles tattooed, but
I've thought about it.
I think my mom would disown me at that point.
Is that one of those tattoos where it's like I don't want to work in the professional world anymore if I have this tattoo?
That's funny that you say that, because there have been more and more people that I've seen, at least that I've worked with, that have had.
You can't hide it, you know.
Right. One guy had, his whole arm. He was very obsessed with Avatar, that he had the arrows on his on the top of his hands, and it went all the way across his entire body, so it connected side to side. And I've seen people that have had, I've had people that I've worked with that had knuckle tattoos. But I think that the IT world is a little bit different than,
because nobody ever sees you. You're just like a
it's not that
you're like a gremlin in the system.
It's not nobody ever sees you, because but yeah, that is true. Nobody ever sees us, but it's kind of shifting. It's not, a suit and tie kind of thing. It's, I go in like this.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do wear a suit sometimes, but I like.
It definitely is shifting. I went into my current job with this haircut, and I think it helped me get the job, because they were like, oh, well, he fits in with the other weirdos that we have working here. So
yeah, and now when I was probably like, I can't remember when I got my nose pierced. Well, learning how to drink now.
I'm a dum-dum.
Yeah, again. At least you didn't choke this time.
I forget basic life skills all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew this, but like I'm a wreck. I'm like early.
No.
I'm like early midlife crisis.
But
like I do well at my homework. I do well at my job, but like I'm always holding on by a thread in school. Like if I just lose a little bit more willpower, the whole house of cards is gonna come tumbling down.
But yeah, no, I got my nose pierced like about 6 years ago or so. I can't remember, because I had my nose pierced when we were living together and all that, and then I took it out
when we were dating.
Yeah, when we were dating. Mm-hmm. No, we are dating now. What was it? What did we say?
No, I'm poly now.
I can't remember what we were talking about last time. Where I asked, "Does that mean we're dating?" Yeah. But yeah, I got my nose re-pierced, and I was kind of worried about it, so I started putting the retainers in, and I was like, okay, let me test the waters out. Then I put like a small little stud in.
I had that same exact thing happen. When I had my cartilage piercings, I worked in an auto shop, and they were like, you absolutely cannot wear that. And I'm like, I literally just got it pierced. Like, what are you doing to me?
Yeah, so it's
an auto shop, dude. Half the guys out there have criminal records. Literally, a guy got fired like for stealing.
Yeah.
While I was there, like, come on, man.
Yeah, and then and anytime I go to a job interview, I don't wear them in. I don't put my nose rings in. Right. But then I also try to scope out the place. I look, okay, if I see a female with nose piercings, I'm like, all right, that's it.
All gloves are off.
You cannot say, because I'm a male, I cannot have my nose rings in.
I'm actually considering, just like from now forward for the rest of my life, just pretending to be someone who needs Sundays off as like a religious exemption. No one would ever be like, no, you're not.
Yeah, they can't tell me you're a Pastafarian.
Yeah, they can't call me out on my religion.
Do I still?
I can just be like, no, I can't work Sundays. The Lord wouldn't like it.
Yeah, but slowly, like I've had my arms covered for a while now. I was at a job one time, and this girl, she was worried because she had like a little tattoo on her shoulder.
Yeah, people used to cover with like big bandages and sweatband, like fuzzy tennis.
Yeah, and she was like, oh, is in the interview, like they told me about it. She's like, oh, well, I have a tattoo on my shoulder. Is that gonna be a problem? And they're like, you should see Robbi. Yeah. Here, there's no problem. Trust me. And it's just. Again, it's slowly shifted, and I've seen more and more people in my field. Just one girl, she just got hired. She has her Labray, her Monroe, and also I think she has a septum ring in, but she just got hired. And I kind of looked at her. I was like, that's ballsy. I would never have done that. I've had my lip pierced.
I like your style, kiddo.
I've had my lip pierced, and like I've obviously been tossing around the idea of getting my lip re-pierced. I was like, maybe, but then I'm like, wait, never mind. I'm in my 30s. I should probably take my nose rings out.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It's like I never had anything pierced when I was a kid, but now I'm like, I just want to pierce it all. Just do it.
Yeah, but again, it's changing. Things are changing, and I don't know.
I think that there's also like,
what was the topic again?
I there's stuff I want to cover later, but we just kind of go with it. I just feel like I never want to be that guy who just has nothing to say. Like I always want people to look at me and be like,
he has a story. Let me hear.
There's something to him, just not just like, a polo shirt and a pair of Dockers. You know, it's like we're all people. You know, you have to express yourself. Just anything, even if you express yourself poorly, just express yourself at all. That's fine. Just do it.
Well, that's live music. You know,
exactly.
we want to do it like that, right? We want to express ourselves through the music. Let's do it.
Express yourself.
Let's do it. You want me to grab my guitar right now?
Yeah,
we could just jam out right now.
I'll just singing for the rest of this podcast.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a little bit past when we usually take a break. You want to take a quick break?
Yeah, let's take a break.
Because I got to use the little girl's room.
Yeah, let's take a break.
So we will be right
Not a burger.
back.
Coming back at you.
Smart me. I turn off the camera.
Welcome.
We are back.
Buddy. Welcome back to your house.
I don't thank you.
So, this is my first shirt of new shirt game.
Because you're so self-conscious about the shirts that you keep rewearing.
It's almost like a challenge to me to have like a different. It's gonna push me to actually own clothing, but new different shirt every episode.
Well, so now like you're saying that I kind of like realized I wear kind of like the same shirts every week.
That's what I'm saying. There was no like.
It's not the same shirts every week. I have like
if you have work clothes.
Well, yeah. I mean, I have a shit ton of shirts. I wouldn't say a shit ton. I have a metric ass ton of shirts. Collection. But the thing is, I have the shirts that these are the ones that fit the most comfortably, or I like the look. I like the look of these, so I kind of cycle them. But now I'm forcing myself to. All right. Once I wash them, I hang them up and I set them on one side of the closet.
And that's the only side that gets touched.
And now that side doesn't get touched.
Oh, okay. So you're challenging yourself too.
So then I grab stuff from that I have not worn, and then I put that, and then eventually I'll have to recycle, but. And then I'm gonna get to a point that once I get to a spot where these are the clothes that I never wear anymore, I'm just gonna donate them. I'm just gonna get rid of them.
I was definitely clothing challenged as a kid.
Well, there's a lot of challenges that you have, but that's one.
True. That's true. Well, I was poor. I guess I still am. But
I feel bad.
I wore,
Way to make me feel bad every time, Dave.
like you know how there's a certain age where you hit that age and like from that point on you understand that fashion, that clothes matter. That like when you're a kid you're just like whatever, just give me something off the rack.
Wait, you mean jingles don't matter?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You went from wearing like
Fuck, I gotta get rid of my
example was
pants.
like a Tasmanian devil shirt from a Walmart rack and
That
like
said
some-
Fat Farm on it.
some Jordache jean shorts that have like a weird fit. Like they're not like
Jordache,
cargo
yes.
shorts. They're not like cut off jeans. There's no look to them. Whatever. They're just jean shorts. Like, are they tight? Who knows? They don't care.
Yeah.
There's no plan on those shorts.
I don't know.
There's no outfit planned with those shorts. So I think I hit that age late because younger kids than me were making fun of me. So I'm like, okay. There's something I'm doing wrong here.
Yeah.
I was like, I got to figure out this whole clothing thing.
Yeah.
So it's just, I've been learning since then slowly. So that today's day one of the rest of my life.
Nice.
Of all the things that I don't know how to do.
Took you till your 30s. Cool.
Yeah,
All right.
exactly. No, I do all right. It was easier when I was skinnier because when you're skinny, you just put on whatever, and then people are like, "Oh, you're skinny."
And you're like,
good.
I look good.
Yeah, now it's like, what can I wear where the jeans aren't so tight that I look like a lollipop because I'm big on top, or the jeans aren't so baggy that people think that I'm in like going for like a '90s rapper thing. So it's like, well, there's just got to be a happy medium in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Jeans are the hardest because you can't just go online and be like jeans. You know,
Well,
you
that
go and try them on and like
exactly,
oh, no.
and that's the thing that sucks is that I have I find like certain pair of pants that I really like.
Butt? Is there a butt coming?
No, there's a butt,
Oh, okay.
and I will try to buy them in as many colors as possible. So
I do that too. Like,
so that way then I
you
can
mean
have
gray, black, and blue.
Gray, black, and like a tan.
Yeah. Okay. So it's like we don't have a lot of options, so we
So
got to get it right.
and those are the colors that I'll try to find, and I'm like, okay, cool. I can see them in each one of those colors. Let me get each one, because then I know the next time I go looking for the pants, they're gonna be gone.
Yeah. No, they always. Especially, I really like Levi's jeans in general, and there's so many little different variations of like you would think if you got Levi's 511s. And they fit really good one time, you could just go get Levi's 511s again and they'll fit again. But no, they don't.
Yeah.
They're different. They're from different places. And I don't know, different years. They just like
There's
change their fits.
There's a pair of pants from Cotton On, and I've been looking for the pants, but I have not. Like I have one pair of those pants, and I love them, and I don't know where to get the other ones because they don't carry them anymore.
Even worse is falling in love with a pair of shoes because I fell in love with a pair of Pumas, and that was like my shoe. I wore them to death.
Yeah.
And then when I went back to find them, they just don't exist anymore.
Have you looked on eBay?
Yeah, I've looked everywhere.
Oh.
I might be able to find it in some weird like off color, and it'll be like 300 times what I paid for it.
Yeah.
It's just so depressing because that was just like such a fitting. I know this is going into weird places, but
No.
I get attached to weird things like that, like a shoe, even
Shoe. Just sit shoe.
even like an object that serves a purpose. That if it does that task really well,
Yeah.
like a pair of scissors, and then you're like, where did my scissors go? I can't find those scissors again. Those are the best scissors I've ever seen.
No, I mean I completely get it. I mean, it kind of goes to the same thing with the instruments. So I
That's a good analogy.
found that I really like Ibanez basses,
Mm-hmm.
and I like a certain style of the bass because it fits the best around my pooch and everything. So,
Yeah, you're a pooch.
So
baby.
man, I got some flub right there.
You got a stomach that holds food.
So it was like, okay, and all the bases that I've bought since then have been that same shape because
Right.
it fits the best. And I was like,
If they were ever to decide that like we don't do that anymore,
and I
it's like,
hope
fuck.
that they never do
Guitars is
because
different though because the secondhand market is like never goes away.
Right.
If you wanted, you could buy a guitar from like
oh
the
yeah,
60s or 70s.
absolutely. You know, I'll have to spend a couple grand in my left testicle, but
You'd be like, in the late 70s, they made a really good tube transistor amp.
Right.
I'm gonna buy that one.
well, and that's a whole nother topic
Yeah, exactly.
for another thing. But like the I have a 5-string bass that I bought that secondhand because the guy was just getting rid of it, and Rock System told me about it. It's like I found a guy in Florida that he's right down the road from you.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, oh, I was like, fuck, is the right size. It's right everything that I'm looking for. Let me buy it. I could do it again, but I don't think that I think that guitars and those kind of instruments are weird because it's kind of like so moving bases aside, we go to guitars. You have like certain body styles. You have the Les Paul body style, the Stratocaster, Telecaster. You have these kind of like iconic body style that they will never stop selling, and people will keep cloning it. Even though Gibson is trying to say don't do that, but the other places will do it. And they will keep doing it because I think that people really like those body styles that they never will stop.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The Fender one with like almost looks like a big lightning bolt with like a point on each side, and then the Les Paul has like the rounded side and the other.
Well, Les Paul is kind of like the one that I showed you, the new guitar that I bought, and that's just that body style. I've always wanted one, but I don't like Gibson. I don't. That's all. Again, another story for another day.
That's the thing too. Every different wood, every different metal gives you like a different sound.
Yep. But you know, once I found, I'm like, okay, I like this body style. I'm gonna keep buying this body style until somebody says, sorry, we don't have that body style. Then I'm gonna make my own goddamn.
People have done that too.
Yeah, I'll make my own guitar.
I've seen. I like videos where people make weird shit out of other shit. I've seen a guy make a PC tower out of a taxidermied beaver.
Yep.
I've seen a guy make a skateboard out of like iPads and guitars, and he's like doing kickflips on.
Oh yeah, that's the Braille skateboarding.
Yeah.
Yep. They just did one which I love. There's a YouTube channel called Lockpicking Lawyer that he shows different lockpicking techniques. Him picking all these locks. Well, he made a skateboard for them that was all locks.
Wow!
Like it was a wood board, but the wheels were these circular locks.
Oh no, like the storage unit locks.
Yeah,
like,
the circular locks. Rough. The trucks were locks. Everything, and the skateboard actually worked. Like the wheels actually turned
Not
and everything.
Fun, but
so yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I love seeing that. That's kind of thing.
That's what I was thinking about for guitars. Is like if they find the guitar that you like, you can build a guitar out of anything.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and like I said, if you
can play Dark Souls on bananas.
Well, that's a whole nother thing because it's a micro. I have one somewhere over there, but it's just a microcontroller. Put little electrodes in it, and just like, okay, now I can play it. Just map them out to anything. But I see where you're going. But yeah, if you find something that you like, but are you gonna go out and make the pants that you like?
No, not at all. That's why cosplaying is so hard because cloth is not something you can just be like, okay, I did it.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to make a PC tower out of Legos, but.
I've seen that. That's.
I've seen some good ones and some awful ones, but yeah, I just thought that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to be in Legos again and like have a kid and be like, here's Legos.
Yeah.
Don't swallow them. Don't step on them. Don't leave them out.
I mean, I have some of my Legos. Like I haven't bought a Lego set in a good while.
They're so good now too. That's the saddest thing.
They're so expensive.
Yeah, they are. But that's the saddest thing is like I can see how far they've come and they're not for me anymore. So if I see like an amazing Star Wars set or something, and it's not just the set itself, but I always had such an eye for the little details. Like if we were into like a Knights phase, if you wanted a one-handed hatchet, you had to get it from the fireman sets. So you would get I'm saying every little piece is important for like your.
Oh, you're talking about mixing the different sets. Oh,
exactly.
Okay.
So like when you see like a Star Wars set, you're like, that piece is amazing. That piece didn't exist when I played with Legos.
Well, now
you can do so much with it.
Well, now with Legos, you can do
like
you can go online exactly and order each individual pieces.
A million, it's like
I don't think it's expensive, but you just have to order like a minimum.
Yeah, it's like buying a bag of popcorn for 25 cents a kernel. It's like those are what you wanted, but like you're paying premium for them.
Yeah, exactly. You could either
They're
buy
already really expensive, and you're paying premium.
You could buy you could buy the set itself. I mean, I think that they probably even sell just like, okay, here's a bag of random Legos. Go nuts.
I'm sure that the secondhand Legos market is like rabid.
I've never tried to look into that.
Me neither. So let's just speculate completely pure out of the blue. It's like I'm gonna go on eBay and buy 2,000 Lego box that no one has any idea what's in it, and I might get some Blacktron pieces from the late 80s.
Let me look this up while we're talking about
Space Police, Ice Planet.
Was it Blacktron?
Yeah, Blacktron. That was like the Legos that I grew up on.
There's Lego Blacktron. So how much do you think? Oh my god! So these are posters. Let's see.
Well, you can get the plans now and then just remake it the way it was.
Yeah. New sealed vintage Lego system, Blacktron 2 Galactic Scout polybag set 90s. How much do you think it is?
Now it depends on what. There's a lot of different sets. The one I had was like a little walker, almost like a chicken walker.
A chicken walker.
The one that you're saying, if it's one of those big ships that's like this big.
Yeah, it looks like it's a ship.
$200.
Close.
Okay.
$34.99. Yeah, actually,
the kids these days have no idea what they're.
There's this one.
On that Blacktron.
There's this one that's in box. That's $145.
The box, it's Legos. I'm gonna.
You can just rip that shit apart right as soon as you get it.
I just want to get at the gooey center.
Yeah, no. Some of these stuff. Ooh, there's one's $275. Oh, these are just the minifigs. $275.
But anyways, yeah. What are you looking forward to having kids? Obviously, you're going to teach your kids martial arts because your dad taught you martial arts.
No, man, I'm just gonna kick them in the head and be like, "You should have blocked."
right when they come out of the womb, just bam! Right in the skull.
I don't.
Their soft, squishy brains.
Get them formed early. No, I don't know. Yeah, you know. Because the big things with me, and I always say, I don't want to say right now because they kind of have always been with me. Well, besides the obvious Disney,
the Disney back catalog.
Oh yeah, I would absolutely, especially with this new Disney online streaming. I'll be like, here you go, kids. We're gonna stream it all day long.
Look at this stuff, isn't it neat?
Nothing but Disney, 24/7. Yes, I saw you did. Oh, look at this stuff. Isn't it?
I love The Little Mermaid.
Wouldn't you say my collection's complete?
I'm not embarrassed at all. Like The Little Mermaid.
No, hell no. I love it. But no. So I don't want to say that they're relevant in my life right now because they have always been. These things have always been in my life, my entire life. Whether if I were participating in it or what.
You're saying you've been more true to yourself.
But
than me.
But I was.
I need an excuse to go back in time.
Yeah, exactly. No. Martial arts definitely. I would want to get my kids into martial arts. However, I would want to do it like my dad did to me. He tried to teach me, and he didn't try to press it on me. He was like, I want pretty much I want you guys to learn.
That's how my parents were with everything.
But then I was just like, nope.
Religion. They were like, do you like this church? No.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, but then I was just like, no, I just want to skateboard. I want to be cool. It took me until like 27, 28 to realize, shit, man, I want to do martial arts now, seriously. But again, because my dad had been doing it, it's been in my life this whole time. Video games, that's the obvious. I would like to get my kids into
it was
video games. And
exciting when my brother's kids got old enough to like hand-eye coordination to start to, or their hands were big enough to start to figure out the
because you know
5-year-old.
My dad, he showed us Doom and Wolfenstein early on. Then then King's Quest. When King's Quest came out, man, that was that was mind blowing.
That is really ahead of his time.
Yeah, and then music. I played.
My dad was music.
I played violin in 3rd grade, and after that, I just didn't have lots of. I wouldn't say I didn't have opportunities. I definitely, if I went to my parents and was like, hey, I want to learn I want to play this, they probably would have helped me out.
Same, yeah.
But
they never pushed one on me.
But for me now, where I'm at in my life, that I have a collection. I have keyboards. I have keyboards, guitars, basses, drums. I want to be like, here, choose whatever you want to play, and I don't care what you want to play. If you want to play no, but the thing is, I've seen I've heard stories about people will be like, oh,
my parents made me play piano every day,
right? Or parents talk to me, oh yeah, we tried to put so and so in guitar lessons, but they just didn't like it. The kid has to want to do it, and I'm sure that
something will speak to him. It might not necessarily be an instrument, but something will speak.
And eventually, in a girl can dream kind of world that I'm in, I would like to have a career in music, and I think that if I were to have a career in music, and my child saw that, it'd be like, I want to, do it. Again, I don't want them to think I need to have a career in music. I just want them to be.
They're doing it because they love it.
Exactly.
Like, for
the love of music. Like, oh,
Well, you'll never get good at music if you don't love it. So
right.
You have to love it. First.
Right. It's like, oh, I want to play the guitar. Cool. I'll just play these simple songs and I'm enjoying it. Cool. And then you're like, oh, let me play with dad or whatever. And
I wish I had got. My dad played slide trombone and it just sat in the garage my entire life. I never heard it.
There you go.
But I did hear him like listening to jazz, and that was
for you and your future kid, you guys should.
That's exactly what slide trombone is.
Could play the automatone.
Yeah. Just like the first couple notes that came out of that, I was like, "At last, my love is gone."
I've always tried to figure out the range. I've always tried to figure out the range of this. Like,
it's fretless. Yeah, right. So
like what? So like you could change it from like high, mid, and low.
Yeah.
Like this on the mid. I'm not sure.
It's like narf flat. It just sounds like.
So like I feel like this is like an octave.
You know better than me.
An octave to like about right here, and then you got like a little bit extra.
A little sharp there.
Yeah.
So yeah, my dad listened to jazz, and my mom listened to like John Denver and Fleetwood Mac and like 70s rock, and she would sing it walking around the house doing chores and stuff. Sunday house cleaning. So that was my exposure to music. I tried to learn keyboard when I was a kid, but it never really stuck.
Yeah, and my parents, my mom enjoyed Eagles, Fleetwood Mac, the obvious Michael Jackson stuff like that. But I had people that showed me, my family showed me Guns N' Roses, and for me
that was the rebellious older brothers, my friends.
And then I got into Smashing Pumpkins in 1997, and then it just went downhill. I just started listening to more and more, the grunge and all that stuff.
It was Metallica for me that took me down that road.
So again, I would like to get my future children, hey, here's music, would you like to pursue something like this?
I think too, if you do get into music and you like make albums and record them, that's kind of like a time capsule of you too.
Oh yeah.
So like 20 years from now, 30 years from now, your kids will like listen to that and be like, "That's dad."
But also, and you're talking about like, oh, making the music, and I think I've talked about it before. I read something that says something along the lines of music is a time machine, like music is a true time machine, because you listen to a song, it takes you back to, and I think I did talk about this because we were also talking about smells, but it's like you listen to a song and you have that moment like, oh shit, I was.
Yeah.
In this moment when I listened to the song for the first time, I was in this relationship when I listened to the song for the first time. I was in this city, this whatever.
For me, those songs are so weird because it was my dad's jazz, so it would be like Ruben Blades, Latin jazz. I remember the first time I heard this song, I was in a Mark III camper van with carpeted walls, dying in the Florida heat.
Yep.
Camping. I hate camping. I want to love it because I'm like a nature guy. I always play the elf.
Nature guy?
I really am. I always play the elf.
What is that? No.
I'm not a city boy.
No. You playing an elf in D&D and RPs, that's not...
listen, like that's what's at the core of my soul.
Okay.
Like green. Like green's my favorite color.
Yeah, man, I could tell green.
Green, we realize it. Yeah, so like, but every time I've gone camping, it's been an absolute disaster every single time.
Yeah. You just have a bad experience?
Yeah, every time. I've had rain come through the floor of the tent. I've been snowed in. Well, as cold as it can get without snowing, because I've never actually seen snow, which is a story for another time. But I've shared a tent with drunks and wet dogs, and just it's been miserable every time.
I mean, I told you that one time that I got real drunk was
the Bruno, like, let me in your tent. Yeah. A bear ate my clothes. You know what I'm talking about? Oh man.
But besides, I wouldn't even say it was camping. I've only been like in a tent at a music festival.
Yeah, I've been in log cabins. I've been in tents. I've been in parks. I've been in woods. I've been all kinds of. We had a camper, like a fold-out camper, like a tow behind your vehicle, and then set it up. And it's just been like a fail every single time.
Yeah, I don't know. I would like to go out camping, but I don't really see the appeal in it.
Yeah, no.
I'm not a big nature guy.
Like I pay for this man-made cave.
Yeah, exactly.
Why would I build an inferior cave?
Yeah.
And pay extra for it.
I like my house.
Yeah,
I'll stay here. If I want to
Especially
the woods,
now,
I'll just turn on the woods channel,
Yeah,
the woods soundscape, and just have that playing in the background.
I love those Cyberpunk 2077 windows where it's like, I want the beach.
Oh, you're talking about the Back to the Future one?
Yeah, that's in so many different ways. Yeah. But like, Yeah, especially on my back's all jacked up. I was like, do I really want to sleep on the ground?
Yeah.
Do I really want to sleep
Well,
on the tree?
you actually brought up the beach. You just mentioned the beach, but I could literally, like, I love the beach. It's just a shame I haven't been to the beach in forever, but I would love, like, that's definitely something that I could go out to and just hang out. I don't know if I could camp out at a beach, but
I think camping at the beach might be good because it's kind of like sterile. It's just like sand.
There have been times that I've gotten, just a wild itch that, me and my ex will before, like, we were living together or anything like that, I would just text her and be like, hey, exactly. It was like 9 p.m. at night, and I was like, you want to go to the beach? And we would just go hang out there and just stuff like that. And I really enjoyed the beach, even especially at night when people aren't there.
For my wife, it's like the same. It's like a quota. She has to go every so often. She just can't like live without it.
Yeah.
And I'll just sleep, like, rest in the tent. We don't even necessarily go in the water. We just rest in the tent, get some food, hang out at the beach, listen to the waves, read a book. But we do have boogie boards too. But for me, I grew up probably like 2 or 3 miles from the beach.
Yeah, you grew up on the coast.
It's kind of like not a big deal to me. Like, other people are like, oh, I got the beach in my blood. I have to go there. But I'm just kind of like,
and again, for me, it really has to do with the environment when it comes to the beach. I like going in the evening because nobody's there.
I do like the beach at night, like bonfires, drinking.
But whenever I go to Hawaii.
You had that Hawaii blood too, right?
Yeah. Whenever I go to Hawaii, once or twice a year when I go with my dad, we stay right on the beach. And
do you surf?
No, I mean I haven't. I do surf. I can surf, but I haven't been surfing in God knows how long.
I can't. I've never.
But the beach is right there, so I could just open up the window and just listen to it, or I could walk down there, and then most of the time too, I go walk down to the beach, in the middle of the day, but it's open enough, that there's not a whole lot of people that I just go to enjoy myself.
You know what I really like about, like, growing up in Florida too? There's this cycle of, like, hit spring break time, go to the beach, go nuts, sleep at the beach or sleep, like, near the beach, with a friend or at a hotel or something, and then that's like a yearly thing. It's almost like getting this crazy out of your system and kind of just like purging. What's it called? The Amish is like.
Where they send them out for, I think, like 2 weeks.
It's an Euro trip or something.
To show them, here.
It's like a wanderlust thing.
Yeah,
so you go to the beach, and there's something super relaxing about, like, waking up to the sunset on the beach, and there's, like, dolphins jumping, and you're just like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not that much of a bitch like you, but.
Well, I don't know.
No, it is nice, but like you said, just
I'm not like
just
a spiritual person, but
the
I've had some, like, spiritual nature experiences.
Let's talk about spiritual stuff.
Well, that's how I feel when I see the sunset come up on the beach and there's dolphins jumping. I'm just kind of like,
so what about
in the earth?
This because this is like a kind of with like a little bit of a transition to like what I kind of want to bring up. You say spiritual and stuff like that. What about you? Or about how about like superstitious stuff, like like the afterlife, spirits and all that stuff.
So I enjoy the cultural context of it, like Halloween, Dia de los Muertos. I enjoy the culture and the traditions and stuff, but I don't believe any of it.
You don't believe it goes anything like that?
I don't, like, not at all. My wife watches Ghost Hunters, and I'm like, this is 7 seasons. This is 7 seasons of nothing happening, right?
Exactly. My ex and her mom were, like, obsessed with Ghost Hunters, and I'm just watching. I was like, this is such bullshit. Nonsense. Yeah. All those ghost hunting shows. And he's like,
can you imagine
if there's a spirit in here, attack me? Oh my God, what was that?
Can you imagine buying equipment that's advertising itself as ghost detecting equipment?
Yeah, no. That,
like, what's the standard of quality there? What's the research and development that made that?
But I felt like I've had some, kind of like
unexplainable.
Unexplainable things. I want to say kind of to me. So one of the ones was Savannah, Georgia is considered like one of the like it's a weird like really hot spot.
I go on the ghost tours in St. Augustine.
That it's because most of the town has been built on top of graves, like unmarked graves. There's like most of the town has been on top.
The reality of the geography.
So
well, I mean, if you want to get down to brass tacks, everything in the entire world is built on dead people.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah,
billions of dead people.
Yeah, but one of the things was I was with my ex and we had just done one of the ghost tours and we were walking back, and when we were walking back, I kind of saw like a shape in like this storefront, and I looked over. I stopped and I paused and I looked over, and like I saw a figure walk by, and it was just all glass. Like you couldn't. There wasn't anywhere to hide.
Yeah.
And this figure walked by. Nobody else was on the street, so it wasn't anybody's reflection. It was just her and me. And I was like, looked over, and she like freaked out and she started running. But that was one thing.
I had experiences I couldn't explain.
But that was one thing. But then we get to the hotel, and she was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna take a shot. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm about to pass the fuck out. Good night. I pass out, and I have my back towards the shower, where the like the door to the bathroom, and I felt somebody push me and say, "Hey, babe, wake up." And I roll over, and she is just getting out of the shower when I felt somebody push me, and I was like, "Okay, what the fuck?"
Okay, that second one is easy for me to just toss away, because there is this weird in-between state where you start to fall asleep, where you can hallucinate. You like dream before you actually.
Yeah, man. It also helped that I did like a shit ton of peyote beforehand.
I've had an experience where me and my buddies were sitting in the living room watching TV. And I was falling in and out of falling asleep, but I was kind of trying to fight it and kind of trying to pay attention to what was going on TV.
Yeah.
And I started dreaming that we were watching the Disney Channel, and there was a Disney Channel logo in the bottom right corner of the screen. And I was like, oh, this is lame. This is Disney Channel. And my buddy was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then I woke up.
Yeah.
So I was like,
well, no,
I just hallucinated that.
But I was like full on asleep because I don't remember. I mean, it could be like
I said it out loud. Like I carried this conversation on with my buddy.
But I said I felt a like kind of like a hand like go, hey babe, wake up. I mean, again, I cannot
confirm or deny. That's the problem.
I cannot confirm nor deny. However, when there is if somebody were to show me tangible proof, just like aliens.
I'm open to evidence.
Just like aliens.
Aliens is not extraterrestrial. Well, it's extraterrestrial. Yeah, it's not superstitious. It's just.
But again, you cannot.
It's just a theory that there's other life in the universe.
Exactly. But I mean, same thing with spirits. It's a theory.
Yeah, but you have to. First of all, where are they? Like, we know that the sky doesn't hold heaven; it holds clouds and then space. So the whole concept that God is up and the devil's down has to go away, which means where are the spirits? You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like there's no. To me, the hardest part about a ghost is evidence of consciousness without form.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason for us to believe that there's consciousness without a body.
Yeah, and I mean it's kind of hard, but that's just like one that's like one experience that I've had that's like it was like kind of weird that I can't really explain.
When I worked at a big box furniture store and we were closing, and I was in a room, the very large warehouse room where there's hundreds of feet in every direction with nobody else but me, and we were kind of rounding up and closing out the night, and I noticed someone in the aisle like walking and pushing a cart, and it's a dead end aisle, and I kind of peeked through the aisles to see them, and I went around to be like, man, we're closing, and there was nobody there. And that's happened to me in two different places. Yeah. That's happened to me at a furniture store, and that's happened to me at one of the theme parks when I worked at one of the theme parks, where it was like I came to like get somebody or something, and there was nobody.
And I mean, it could just be my mind playing tricks on me, but again, there
is a propensity of us to try to identify faces. It's just like the way our brain is wired.
Yeah.
Like if you see a tree and you're like, oh, it looks like a face, or a cloud, oh, it looks like a face.
Yeah, it's just like I cannot deny. I cannot say here's evidence that this does not exist.
I mean, if you want to like play this, like I'll be Mulder and you can be Scully. Wait, I got it backwards. I'll be Scully and you can be Mulder, and just like you can say, oh my gosh, something crazy, and I'll be like, no, it's nonsense.
Yeah.
You ever watch BuzzFeed Unexplained?
Oh, Scooby-Doo?
No.
I would have got away with it too. Was for you meddling kids.
It's BuzzFeed Unexplained or BuzzFeed.
No, I try to avoid
little
BuzzFeed.
Asian guy. No, it's just a show they run on Netflix or something. It just has the BuzzFeed tag on it. But it's a little Asian guy and a tall white guy, and the tall white guy is like totally sarcastic, doesn't believe in shit, and the Asian guy is really animated and believes everything. So the two of them together, like exploring these like haunted sites and asylums and broken down buildings and stuff, is like, it's really entertaining because they're entertaining. So you can kind of like get the best of both.
And I don't feel like haunted house, like like there are really like haunted, like you know, the whole Amityville, thing or anything like that, and
but just so much of what we believe is just based on tradition,
hearsay.
Well, it's also. It's like, well, my mom saw a ghost. Well, you didn't, you know.
But again, who are you to disprove what this person did in fact see?
I mean, my mom has like some really juicy ghost stories that also involve other people who also were so freaked out by the story that they weren't willing to talk to me about it.
Yeah.
So that to me is a situation where you have a skeptic and a believer together, and the reaction of the skeptic is what makes me believe the other person's story. But now they're both passed on, so I can't really clarify or ask them.
And it's not like, you know, I've had something where people have said, I had this spirit come to me and say, Susie wanted me to tell you everything's okay.
Yeah, you know, not my football team win.
Nothing like that. But you know, I you know, for me to just completely write it off, I can't completely write it off, but I can't at the same time say yes. There are ghosts, there are spirits, and they're here with us.
It's like a nebulous space, right? And I'm going. It's probably filled with what everything else in the universe that we've observed is filled with. And other people
farts.
are going, but it could be something else. And I'm like, but it's probably not. You know. Yeah. And
I said, it was just something that
it'd be super fun for us to like be on a conspiracy show and be like, well, everything's real, and
get out your tinfoil hats,
all these clicks and stuff. But like, I think it's actually really damaging to a society to teach people to believe things that can't be proven. Yeah. Because like, one of the English classes, the guy that refuses to let you use an exclamation point, one of the books we're reading is called White Noise by this guy Don DeLillo, and it was written in the 80s. It was written by the 80s, the whole 80s, the whole got together, the whole decade. Just said we're gonna write a book. Anyway, the idea is that like the way that we are using words is hurting our collective consciousness. Oh yeah, by having words set out to define these concepts like Atlantis or crystal energies, or you know, just the fact that I can say these words and you can draw up an association and you know. Makes people believe them. It's just part of their background noise of the facts that they absorb in a day.
But that kind of goes so that falls on the person.
We're surrendering. Yeah, but we're surrendering brain space to concepts that don't exist. Is basically.
But that again, I feel like that falls on the person. Do you want to take this as?
That's what they want. You just hit the nail on the head.
Do you want to take this as a naked fact?
It's not defined by what you want. It's just is.
No. Do you want to take this as a fact, or do you want to put in the research and put in the time to? Oh, okay. You know what? This sounds interesting. Let me look more into this, and then you draw your own conclusions, or do you just want to take it as a naked fact? You watched a lot of South Park, right? No, what's that?
This guy's like, I'm just asking questions. It's like, again, you're creating a headspace for a concept that like has no, evidence just by talking about it.
And you know, if I'm not going to go out and buy these ghost hunting tools and all this stuff.
That's the crazy shit. It's like this one. This one catches the ghost when they talk. See?
But what they
it doesn't do that.
What they do is just they take like a computer speaker, take it apart, wrap some wire around it, and call it the Super Ghostron 5000. It's like, is there anybody here? Oh my God! Did you hear that?
And then it's obviously just scanning through radio signals, and then it catches two words out of a radio show, and they're like. That was a ghost.
Maybe I will now disprove these things. I will throw money, burn money to go into and buy all these ghost hunting tools.
Hobbyist, spy equipment.
Buy all these ghost hunting tools and just dismantle it.
This one detects their energy. This one detects their speech. That'll be $2,000.
Yeah, but it's I don't know.
That's the thing about prove it. It's such a powerful. That's one of the things I considered having tattooed on my knuckles because it's like
prove it.
If anything can't stand up to those two words, then it doesn't deserve to be.
You have a spare knuckle.
Would
you leave it?
I didn't do the math.
PROVE space IT.
I didn't do the math. Okay, maybe I would. Whatever looks better when you go like this for the camera. Okay. Anyways, it's like if you can't prove it, then why are we having this conversation? It's like if God was like, "Here, hey guys," you're fucking things up, I'd be like, "That's God." Yeah. Since I saw him, I believe in him because obviously
it comes back to
it doesn't come down to belief.
what I said in a previous episode, where it's just like, we can have a debate. You prove your part, I'm gonna give my part. Nope, I don't want to hear it. Then we're done. I can't talk to you about anything.
The debate is not going to change the reality, though. Like there is an objective truth.
But I think that if more people were open, it's just like, okay, give me your point of view.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's good. Here's my point of view. Okay, yeah. Now we have we draw our own conclusions.
I'm not saying we can't discuss it, but I'm saying that like a lot of what people try to do is convince people, and convincing is not proving.
Yeah.
Like if you know how to talk and you know how to shoot holes in someone else's argument, you can fit on your and think on your feet and look good, then you can convince anyone watching the video. But that doesn't change what's actually out there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I get you. But ghosts are real. You're an asshole.
I'm so hungry for Taco Bell right now. I could die.
Taco Bell?
I don't know. I want to just...
When was the last time you take Taco Bell?
I don't even remember.
Good.
At least 2 months.
I like that answer. Yeah. Good. You're supposed to be eating healthier.
Maybe 3 months. Yeah, probably 3 months.
You're supposed to eat healthier, man.
Well, it's hard to do when it's late and I'm driving home. My wife's asleep, and I'm going to be awake for 5 more hours. I got to eat something. I'm out of Spam, by the way. How about that for you?
I'll give you a can before you leave.
My Spam dealer.
Yeah. I was talking to somebody at work about Spam, and I was like, trust me, I can live off of that shit.
To me, the association with Spam is that it's like the cheapest meat you could possibly.
Oh, absolutely.
And it goes back to like the Weird Al song, like Spam in the place where you live. And I don't even think I've actually eaten it before. I mean, I might have eaten it without knowing it.
Yeah.
My parents like prepared a meal or something, and it just happened to be.
I didn't have Spam until I was much older, and now
it's super easy.
Hell yeah, man!
It's like hot dog meatloaf, right?
Yeah.
Is that a way?
It's spiced ham, yeah.
Yeah, that's just a good way to describe it.
And
is it really ham though, or is it like snouts and hooves?
It is actually. I've looked it up.
It's like
there's chicken mixed into it as well, but yeah, it's
fine.
I cut it up, pan fry it, and put it with my eggs.
I cut it up and microwave it because I'm lazy.
Yeah, and I'm just like I could eat that shit every single day.
It makes me want Taco Bell more.
They don't have Spam at Taco Bell.
Doesn't matter. Taco Bell, of all the things that we've made fun of today, of all the things that we've said we've hated on this show, Taco Bell. I
love Taco Bell.
It's a guilty pleasure.
I think it's been at least 4 or 5 years since I've eaten Taco Bell.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow, it's impressive.
Like there's not a day that doesn't go by that I want a Crunchwrap Supreme.
That's exactly what I want.
Like a Crunchwrap Supreme.
That's exactly what I want.
And I would just like what I typically did was I take the first bite, and then on that bite put some hot sauce on it. Take the bite, put more hot sauce, and I just
doing lines of hot sauce.
Exactly, pretty much.
I'm done with that.
Yeah, that and also the what are they called? The cheesy gordita crunch. Holy shit,
God,
Dave!
Exactly
Did we just become best friends?
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, cheesy gordita crunches. Yep.
Isn't it funny how so much on the Taco Bell menu is just like the same shit rearranged? It's like we got the soft taco and we deep fried it, and it's called a gordita.
Yeah.
We got the soft taco. There's another taco inside it, and melted cheese in between. Oh man, I'm making myself so hungry. I'm such a fat kid right now.
Man, I would love to have some Taco Bell. Maybe I'll have Taco Bell after my fight because I have to make weight.
I think that us spending more time together, there's an inevitable direction to this relationship, and that's I pull you further towards sin, and you pull me further towards righteousness.
Nope.
No,
nope.
Not even a little bit.
Nah.
Just this conversation is the closest you've come to having Taco Bell in years. You said so.
No. I've talked about Taco Bell. I've talked about Taco Bell to Kate as well, and it's just I willpower, man.
Yeah.
But
I'm always that guy who tells people to just cut loose, man.
No.
Like Susan, when I met her, she was a straight-laced accounting major who was close to graduating and having the whole rest of her life.
And then,
forever. And I was like, why don't you just break up with your boyfriend and become a hippie? And she did, and she's completely lives off the grid. She's who knows?
God.
She's probably surfing. No, she's probably surfing. She's skiing on a mountain right now and eating organic pizza. Who knows?
I know that my ex kept up with her for a little while, so I know where she's at a little bit.
That's why I can relate to people like that so strongly. Is because, like I said, I'm green on the inside.
Yeah, no. For me, it's just willpower, man. And it's a struggle. It literally is a struggle that I've wanted Taco Bell, but I know that I have a goal in mind, so I need to keep to it.
I have willpower, but it's my prioritization of things that's all messed up. Like I can do something unimportant for 10 hours and like really sit down and think it out and do it well, like planning a Factorio engine or something.
Yeah.
And then something that's actually important that deserves 10 hours of planning and
Scork.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like, I don't care.
Yeah. You know,
I'm just skating by, like reading the bare minimum necessary in my classes and turning in the homeworks and like, okay.
Yeah, and I mean that's I'm not a studious person.
Yeah,
it's
I'm at
just
the end of that rope. I went to the student center and I was like, I think I'm having a life crisis. You got to help me. And they're like, are you doing drugs? No.
Yes.
Are you engaging in risk behaviors?
Yes.
Sex? And I'm like, no. And they're like, well, then what the hell are you doing here? I'm like, I don't.
No, it is.
Cool. Please tell me what to do.
I'm on a drug called video games.
Please assign me a pill that's gonna make me a better person, please.
God. Get some of that.
My mom was a psychologist.
Adderall and all that.
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, exactly. My mom was a psychologist, so I'm like really hesitant to medicate, even though I'm probably a person who should be medicated to some extent.
I've thought about it, but again, willpower. I just don't know how I would feel to take it because my
I don't
ex
want to become a different person.
My ex, she would say, you know, would the only time that I have taken any kind of medication,
Altering drug.
well, it wasn't really mood altering drug. It was a muscle relaxant.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember what it was.
I took that when I hurt my back the first time.
But she, my ex gave me one because she had
It didn't
some.
do anything.
Oh, it made me feel made me feel good. Like I slept like a fat fucking baby that night, and it was just. Like I think I just got done like training really hard and my back was stiff. And she's like, "Oh, here you go, just do this." I was like, "I don't want to take it." Just and she's like, "Just trust me, just do it, just do it." And I took it.
Hey man, you got to.
Yeah, I took it and it's like within 15 minutes.
So weird.
It was kind of like that old marijuana commercial where it was like, "What's wrong with
fish?"
No, just that person on the couch.
Deflated?
Yeah. What's wrong with Billy?
Yo,
he did marijuanas.
That's how I felt when I used to smoke weed. It's just like I'm checked out of the world right now.
Well, I mean, there's two different strains of marijuana when it comes to that, like sativa and I forgot what the other one is.
Chronic.
No, well, I guess that's a strain, but there's two different like families. I guess it was like one makes your brain think and your body like loose, and the other one's the other way around. It's like
I can anecdotally support that evidence.
Yeah. But so would I want to do like Adderall or something like that to like try like be hyper focused on something? I don't know.
Not just focus, but like more level.
I don't know if I would. I'm not one to be like I'm not one to be like everything needs a medication. Everything needs to be medicated.
Neither, yeah.
Like
I like growing up, all my friends were diagnosed with ADHD and they were all on Ritalin. And I was exactly like them. I was just as hyper. I was just as unfocused, and I never got diagnosed or. Well,
the thing, and you know, this may be a hot take that like might offend somebody, but I think that the whole ADD, ADHD kind of thing, and well, not really ADD, ADHD. Well, yeah, and also, so that's one thing. A lot of stuff is like, this is just natural for a kid to do these kind of things, to act this kind of way. But then also, I think that it's really expanded to incorporate more. And the one thing that I feel like the same way it is autism. Autism, I feel like when we were younger, it was like, okay, you either have it or you don't. That's just it. Now it's a spectrum. Now it's like, what degree of it do you have?
That's just because they understand it more now.
Is it?
People just went undiagnosed before, and they were just like, okay, we're going to put you in an asylum, and you're just going to be in there till you die, and we're never going to know what's wrong with you. That's pretty much how they dealt with mental disorders in the early 1900s.
I don't.
We're going to put electrodes in your brain. We're going to cut a hole in your skull.
Put this spike through your eye.
Yeah, exactly. And we're just going to see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm not saying like that far back, but even when we were kids, it was kind of like, okay, you have autism or you don't.
Yeah.
But then, like I said, now it's like, what sort of degree of autism do you have? But I think, again, it kind of goes into the same fact of, okay, he's not focused. That's just how kids mostly are.
There's 2 points I want to make in this conversation. Are you familiar with the high infant mortality rate in America compared to other developed nations? So we have a crisis in America of overcorrection. When you go to deliver a baby, the doctor says, you're not dilated enough, you have to take this pill. And then they come back and they're like, you're too dilated, now you have to take this pill. And then they come back and they say, oh, now you're not dilated enough. And then they're like, you know what, this is just too far gone, we're going to give you a C-section. And this is a huge percentage of births in America go down this roller coaster ride that ends in C-section. And I think it's applicable to Ritalin too, because it's like, you can't deal with your kid, give them a pill. It's like, we're just, everything needs to be treated, everything needs to be medicated.
Right.
And another good point to make is that we don't let kids drink until they're 18 or until they're 21.
How about to say 18? Yeah. Shit, girl. Mm-hmm.
Because we're afraid of how it will affect their development, right? But we're perfectly all right with giving them super powerful chemically meth derivatives when they're like 12. That's pretty crazy. And the way I ended up at this place where I think this is because I watched one of my best friends that I grew up with go down the tubes of medication and opiate addiction, and it's just like this long road that just he's 1 day younger than me, and he's basically operating on the level of like a 12-year-old, and he's never had a job, and he's never graduated school, and he's never gonna get anything in life. And that's like, it's like, you know. If I had been on Ritalin with him when we were younger, maybe I would have ended up on the same path, you know?
Yeah, and it's just like, you know, I'm not one for, you know, medication, like that kind of stuff. And it's just, you know, I feel like there's other issues, you know, that there are cases that, yes, you do need some sort of medication.
For sure.
For, you know, like medically, you know, your
depression is real.
Exactly. That's what I say. Like, you know, your serotonin is off balance. Or something. You need to have dopamine to have that balance out. Yeah, those kind of things. But, you know, there's also a lot of people that are just like, you know, these quote unquote sad girls. No, you're not depressed. You're just, you know, it's just it's just it's just a phase. This is not a phase, Mom. This is me.
I think it was Bill Burr who said that, like, it was Bill Burr. I just watched the first half of his special Paper Tiger recently, and he was like, white women complain the most out of anybody on the planet. It's like, is your life really that hard? Like, you're going on Facebook and you're like, nobody understands me.
Yeah.
And it's like, all you had to do today was like choose what clothes to wear and what to eat. You know, there's nothing wrong.
Dave, you just don't understand. You're a privileged white male.
Okay, I don't know how far we want to go into this.
Oh, I mean, it's already 11 o'clock. So.
I got completely crushed by someone with that argument recently on Facebook, where I was like, you should be careful on how you throw around the Nazi card. It's really overused, and you're crying wolf, and when you really need it, no one's going to listen to you. Yep. And they were like, what would you know? You're just a white male. And I was like, you know, I'm on your side, right? Like, you know that I'm the liberal, right? Like, why are you devouring me and pushing me out of the pack just for disagreeing with you? Like, how do I prove that I'm worthy of having a different opinion than you? Like, what? At what point
you're not. You cannot have a. You're gonna have an opinion to some of these people. To some people, you cannot have an opinion because you're a male, because you're white, and that's it. That's the end of the conversation. You have no.
But the irony is that to prove how progressive she is generalizing about me by my gender and race. So, like, doesn't that require some introspection? Like, all
right, we go a whole 7 episodes into this, but then it'll get very political.
Right. So basically, I just checked out. I've unfollowed so many things on Facebook. It's like I don't want to be an outrage machine. I don't want to be in the echo chamber.
Yeah, I just exactly and anything like that. I try to unfollow. I
was just really taken aback. It's like, you know, we're all following this because we all have similar beliefs, right? Like, why are you attacking me? Like, I didn't do anything.
Because you're a privileged white male.
I'm not privileged at all. My parents couldn't pay the bills. They had to hit up relatives for like my entire life to make ends meet. Like,
but they don't know that.
I was an orphan by the time I was 30. Like, I'm not privileged.
But that doesn't matter to them. They just assume. And again,
I didn't own a car until I was like 21.
But yeah, that's like edgy on politics. But yeah.
Everybody agrees that it's out of hand. Like, it's just completely out of hand.
It is.
Yeah. Good talk. Yeah. Good. Sweet dreams.
It's already 11 o'clock. I'm sure you get your Taco Bell. Do your homework.
I talked about it. No, I already did all my homework.
Good. That's a change.
Yeah. You know what's the
last 2 weeks.
You know what's really helping me? This is funny. My one of my groups for class meets on Discord. So if I'm playing like a game or something, they'll see it.
Oh my God.
So I have to like. We had a meeting and I was the first one there, so I was like playing Hearthstone until I waited until everyone joined in. And I was finishing the match, and some girl was like, "You're playing Hearthstone?" And I was like, "No, it's just on. I'm not doing it."
That's funny.
But they're all gamers, so they're like, they get it.
Obviously, they got Discord.
She has a furry picture as her profile picture, so I'm like, yeah, she's fine. She's down.
Right.
But yeah.
All right, so
Good talk. I should have never talked about the Taco Bell. I'm just suffering now.
Yeah.
I did to myself.
All right, so that was going to do it for tonight. So
good talk, guys.
Yeah, good talk.
Thanks for coming.
Oh.
See you next time.
Have a good night.